And we are live.
Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Pillow Talk.
Episode 10.
Yes, episode 10. Sorry we're a little bit late, but you know, we have technical difficulties.
Better late than never, guys.
There we go, yeah.
What are you guys gonna do for Labor Day, by the way, since it is tomorrow?
I don't think I'm going to do a damn thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Earl?
What's up?
What are you going to do for Labor Day?
I have no clue. I'm most likely I forgot about Labor. I'm really stumped because I've been with most of my time always working on Labor Day. So most likely probably I'll be working on that day as well because
Well, yeah, it's probably a good day. I mean, good day for you.
Yeah.
With the
and it's tomorrow. I've been
yes.
I'm working tomorrow, so I checked the schedule before I left. So thank goodness. So probably have to do my Labor Day bullshit on Saturday or Sunday at least, because that's the ones I have off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm trying to find it, but it's not coming up.
I completely forgot that Labor Day was tomorrow until recently. Like, oh God, that's tomorrow? Really?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it shows you where my mind is.
Yeah.
So, Kitty, what do you have? Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you. Well, we all got to say congratulations, 10 episodes,
I know.
Yeah. Props to us, man.
And it's been a wild ride, man. Bumpy at times, yeah. It's been interesting, that's for sure.
Well,
oh, yeah.
I don't know else. I'm sure all shows do that.
Yeah.
They have their bumpy ride.
Yeah, we do.
All that.
Yep.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, your show's come a long way after 10 episodes,
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done a lot of stuff.
Oh, we got Adam in the
subjects.
What's up, Adam?
Hi, Adam. I knew Adam would be here.
Yeah, we were gonna do a show earlier. Hey, John Redcorn, what's up?
Hey, John, JT.
Hey, John. What's going on? What's up?
Sorry, guys.
Sorry we're late tonight. I overslept and But next show we'll definitely do it earlier. That's for sure.
Well, yeah.
Mm.
And it just seems like, hey,
Yeah.
getting a little easier each time we do this. I hope.
Yeah, probably definitely earlier.
Yeah. But I kind of miss.
Yeah, my sleeping hours are all fucked up. I gotta get them back to normal, or semi-normal.
Labor Day though,
Yeah.
because always like how it was, you always knew that's when your day,
Yeah.
when school was gonna start. You know what I mean?
Kids go back to school. I bet they're excited about that. Yeah.
But it's like, they started earlier. Just doesn't seem to start school on in August,
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Kitty, I'm sorry, go ahead, Bill.
A lot of the schools out here have year-round school.
Yeah, we have a lot of them out here too,
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You just get,
Hey, Sam.
chunk 2 weeks at a time or whatever off.
Girl.
Sorry, if I sound a little bit out of sorts, I'm just trying to get all my stuff together, and I was having a hard time getting the channel to come up here for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm.
Uh-oh, Kitty, your mic.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Trying to get
There we go. I hear you now.
Getting the channel to come up here for me.
So tonight's show is gonna be kind of depressing, but it's something that we need to talk about.
I do hear an echo though.
That
Is there an echo? I don't hear it.
Yeah, I do hear it. I don't know why.
Hmm.
It was-
The mic show's gonna be.
Well, now I'm hearing the echo now. What the hell?
yeah. Wait a minute. Didn't Earl say he had it on 3 different things?
What? I had trouble hearing you, Kitty.
Yeah, me too. Hold on.
You guys,
Now I'm hearing the echo now.
yeah. Did you guys say that? Didn't Earl say he had it
Uh-oh. Hold on here.
Somebody.
Okay, why don't we do this?
Yeah, I have trouble hearing you.
Dr. Earl and Bill, why don't you guys leave and then come back and that fixed it last time.
No, it's somebody's YouTube.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, why don't we do this?
Gotta-
Dr. Earl and Bill, why don't you guys leave and then come back?
I'm hearing my voice. Shut up.
Okay,
I'm talking to myself here. Hold on here.
wait a minute. Let me get Earl back into here.
Yeah, get him back. Let's see if that'll fix the issue.
That's like, I mean, because remember he said he had it on like 3 different appliances.
Apparatuses, yeah.
All right, I'm hearing you guys now a lot better.
All right.
Yes. That
You had it
was
like you said you had it on your tablet and
like I was in a Paranormal Activity movie here.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
You gotta love live radio, or you
Yep.
call this radio or TV? Live,
No.
yeah,
Live stream.
Yeah, there you go, live.
Right.
Oh
Hey,
boy, it's gonna be a fun night. I can tell already.
All you have to do is pop yourself back in there, right?
Yeah, pop it back in. There you go.
Yep.
Let's see if I. Sorry, guys. Let's see if I can get him back in here.
Mhm.
You try
Go,
leaving,
Bill.
they push you back in.
All right.
Let's see if we can get this.
Not working.
I don't know. Is it working?
Yeah, I mean, for that, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm not hearing any echo. I didn't really hear it until a few minutes ago. So
That's how I knew it was somebody that
Mhm.
didn't have their YouTube on, because that's what it was. Still, that's what it was.
mm.
Yeah.
Now I'm hearing the echo again. What the heck?
I didn't really hear it.
I keep hearing my damn voice. I don't want to hear myself. I
Yeah,
don't think we. I don't know what.
No.
Let me check here.
Who's got their YouTube on?
I'm hearing the echo again. What
What a way to
Hey.
celebrate 10 episodes. Hold
I'm
on.
hearing
Let
my
me see if I
damn
can.
voice.
What the? Shut up,
Damn,
I-
what the hell?
I don't know what the hell's going on here. Jeez.
That's what it is. Somebody doesn't have their YouTube off.
Mine's off. I mean, I'm here I can see it, but I got muted.
Right. That's
Oh,
why I
no.
always turn mine off.
Mhm.
Let me see here. Let me see.
I think we fixed it.
I don't know if we did.
I don't know.
Jeez.
I don't hear it no more.
This will be available eventually in the blooper reel. Yes, it
I
will.
think
The Pillow Talk blooper reel available this Christmas.
I think we got it. Sorry, guys. You know how it is.
Right.
We're still
When you start live streaming on YouTube, you will have these issues at times.
We never had this issue before. This is the first. Well, we had echo, but never where I hear myself talking to myself. And,
I don't know. I'm not hearing it right now,
yeah,
guys.
I'm annoying. I just realized I'm annoying on here. Shut up!
Oh, God.
Don't you dare talk back to me, you asshole. Okay. Anyway, Are we working now? Is it working now?
It is. Yep, I hear you guys loud and clear.
Well, we hear
Okay.
each other, but then we hear echo. Like,
Yeah, I hope not. hope
I
not.
don't. Everything's cool over here.
welcome to Pillow
Bye.
Talk, episode 10. We're doing this from the Grand Canyon, so bear with us. Hello out there, there. Okay, let's try to. I'm not gonna start this shit over again. We're gonna keep it going.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm
Yeah,
not in the
good
mood
idea.
for a third try.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I was going to start the show off on, yes, as Bailey said, it's kind of going to be a somber show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we were started
But
off.
one with awareness.
But
Well, yeah.
well, Kitty, you do have to talk about what you were gonna talk about when you talk about. Yeah.
Right. I was gonna with the Princess Di. Is
Mhm.
that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what you talking about.
Yeah.
Wes. Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
Right. You know that it is the 20th anniversary this weekend.
Yes, it is.
Well, actually, it was the 31st,
Mm.
Thursday. But
Yeah.
you know, 20 years. I mean, do you guys remember where you guys were when that happened?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was at a Padres baseball game, and I was driving home, and I heard it on the radio, like, "Oh shit, she died."
Yeah, because I was watching a show about it, and this guy said, you know, even though, I mean, you know, she was like our JFK, you know, everybody remembers where they were. And
Yeah.
I'm not old enough to remember about JFK.
Mhm.
Yes, I do, Adam. You were not. You were a youngster.
I wasn't even born yet.
No, well,
Me
yeah.
either.
I was
But we still get stories, remembrances, all this stuff about JFK by the pound. I mean, we
everybody
got
took it hard though, because he was a really good
TV
guy. You know, he tried to help.
specials.
He tried to help
Right.
everybody.
I mean, that's why I bond so well with this. I'm fascinated with her because ever since I saw her when she was being courted by Prince Charles.
Uh-huh.
Good girl, you know.
I think she was murdered because they didn't like her in the family. She was like too. Well, she was way different than they were. They're all a bunch of stuck-up prudes.
Yeah.
She
Bunch of-
was.
I hate
I
stuck-up.
remember a lot of people in England would say, well, bitching at the Queen, say, why won't you mourn with us? And finally she gave a
yeah.
statement out there, but yet it was not really that emotional.
You could tell they didn't care she died. They were happy she died. They're like,
No, I think
Because, she was a person in a lot of ways. She
Yeah.
stood out proud. And
Yep.
a lot of royals ain't really prudes to people
they are a bunch of
standing
prudes.
out.
Yeah.
you know they're not brought up like we are. You know they are brought basically up by governesses and nannies. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Their parents don't bring them up because they're busy. You know, it's being a royal like that is a job. You know,
Charles was a royal pain in the ass. That's what he is.
Oh. He's always been like that.
Yeah.
Even when he was a young.
I remember this.
actor.
His one of his boys, I forgot it was Harry or Willie, guy that got injured and stuff, and he any other parent were right with their kid up to the very end, staying there for how long. Charles, only stayed for a couple of minutes and he left, and lots of people complained about that.
Yeah, I know. Like,
You have to realize that their time isn't. No, Adam, it's not lazy because you can't say that because Di was not lazy.
no, I don't think he means her. He doesn't. Why am I here? I'm hearing echo again. Really? God.
Well,
I'm here. Hold on. I think it might be on my end here.
you make connections with
I don't want to
this
hear my
group that-
voice. I don't know why I keep hearing it.
But
Okay,
I
I think I
mean,
got it now.
she did do a lot. When
Yeah.
they were putting her casket on the caisson. I know it's not called a caisson, but to me it looks like a caisson. Right. And the Queen's not lazy either. She really isn't. I have a lot of respect for her, considering that she was a young girl when she was queen.
Yeah.
That's a lot of responsibility for somebody that's a young person. But they had, not only, I mean, I didn't realize that up until the last minute that William didn't want to walk behind his mother's casket. He wanted
Really?
Yeah, he wanted to
Oh, wow.
mourn. Because he's mourning publicly. You know what I mean? That's got to be hard. He was, 15 at the time? Yeah, 15, and Harry was 12. And it's hard enough when your mom dies, when you're that age, to be a regular person, let alone have millions and billions of people, in the world watching you mourn, But it was Prince Philip actually that took him aside and said, "Okay, will you do it if I do it?" They were grandparents. I mean, they might have been, ridiculed about
So none
it.
of you guys think that she might have been, murdered? Come on, none of you guys think that maybe?
I don't. I mean, I think it was.
Yeah, but I do know if it was a murder, we know who may have caused that murder to happen. But it's either way, it was the paparazzi.
It was the paparazzi.
Well, did you hear when she was in the ambulance going to the hospital? There was like delays getting her there. Like,
yeah, there's always.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, there were a lot of delays of her getting to the hospital, supposedly.
What the hell for? Was the traffic that bad? Or
From what I heard, traffic was not bad at all, but they still took their sweet time in taking her to the emergency room.
It happened in a. Oh yeah, even today there's a lot.
I know there's conspiracies and theories about everything. I just,
there's so many conspiracies.
I wouldn't put it past the
about
family.
this.
I wouldn't put it past them.
You have to remember that it wasn't just like on an open road. This was in a tunnel.
Yeah.
So that's going to be hard as anything to get out of anyway. But I mean, I think it was the paparazzi. I think it was the driver. He was supposedly drunk and speeding. And you cannot, I know how anxious I get in a tunnel where I easily see how easy it is to get in an accident on a tunnel because people drive like maniacs in tunnels, and there's not that much space there. But
yeah, Adam. If anybody could cover it up, it would definitely be them. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, I realized that there probably was a lot of jealousy. You know what I mean? There was jealousy toward her because where that title, the People's Princess, came from? The Prime Minister.
She could.
Tony Blair.
One reason why I think maybe she might have been, taken off was because she knew more about them than anybody and could reveal a lot of secrets, dirty laundry on the family.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
No, I'm saying you're right, but in turn, she had a lot of secrets too.
Yeah, she did, but
it was okay for Charles to have extramarital affairs with Camilla and everybody else.
Now, let me ask you: were they both married at the time when he was cheating on her?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Was she seeing that guy already when they were still married, or were they already separated?
I do believe that they were separated when they were seeing Dodi Fayed, when she was who actually died in a car crash with her.
I know
that, but I mean, she had different affairs,
Oh really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I would hate to have this,
Out of everything, I feel so bad for the kids. They lost a great mom.
Yeah.
Because there were rumors about who Harry's father was, because he is a ginger, and she had an affair with
Joe Cronin. You're the dad. Joe's the dad. Joe.
I think she did have an affair with somebody in the military. I believe that. Yeah, it was. Adam, you were exactly right. It was a marriage of convenience.
Yep, it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I mean, there was no way in the world that the king, the prince and his mother were going. I mean, that Prince Philip and his mother were going to approve of Camilla. She was a divorce. She was married at the time, and she was a divorcee. She was not the type of stock that. Right. He had to marry a virgin. He had to marry somebody that was young enough to give him an heir and spare. You know, that's, you know, protocol for the royals. You have to have fair and fair. Yes, James Hewitt. Yep, you're right, Adam. And yes, he is a ginger, is he not?
I forgot about that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You can't blame either one of them because that's how, you know, if you're miserable in a marriage of convenience, everybody knows a marriage of convenience, you're going to have outside interests. You know, she wasn't perfect. You know, would never say that she was perfect because nobody's perfect. But she did have a good heart. Yep, he is. He's a ginger, and that's why, you know, there were all kinds of rumors about who, you know, Harry's father was. But, I mean, you know, and we cannot, you know, I forget, I do believe that that's where Squishygate came from, you know.
Squishygate.
Squishygate.
Squishy, yeah, they called it Squishygate because somebody had leaked their private phone calls.
I've gotten Squishygates before, but that's for another night.
They would
I think I went in at rave clubs.
They would call it, you know, she was called Squishy on there, and
Squishy.
That caused a lot of, you know, tongues to wag. But I mean, you know,
Squishy. My name is Squishy. That's what it sounds like to me.
Hey, now we got a new character for Pillow Talk. Squishy. We got Dr. Squishy in the house.
My name is Squishy.
What's up, Dr. Squishy?
When your balls get squished.
but she did. I mean, she did a lot
That was
of good.
Dr.
For people, you know what I mean? In fact, you know, it was
Squishy. Oh, sorry.
it was Prince Charles. It was Harry, William, and her brother Charles Spencer behind the coffin.
Squishygate. I never heard of Squishygate before. Wow, that's I never heard that.
Hey, see that? Now you know from somebody that listens.
Yeah, I learn something new every night on this show.
You know, but what they did, instead of having a military follow the casket like they usually did, what they did for her is that they had representatives of some organizations and charities that she did.
Yeah.
That's who followed the casket.
I got squishy when I looked at Diana. I'm just saying.
She was called Squishy.
I'm not gonna lie, she was a hot piece of ass. I thought she was. No offense to her, you know. May she rest in peace, though. I thought she was beautiful.
She was. She was.
A lot of women admired her.
Yeah.
Lots of women. Over there and over here. Yeah.
You know, I was telling you that what I found out from watching that documentary about is called The Week That Diana Died.
Yeah.
And
you know, Diana had a lot of mental health issues, you know?
Well, she did. Yes, she did. I mean, she was bulimic.
She had a lot. Didn't she? Yeah, she had bulimia, right?
Yeah, she was bulimic, and
she had depression.
She
I remember that one interview right now coming to mind where she's talking to some reporter about all that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know, and she made no bones about it. She didn't make any excuses. She told people, you know, that yes, she did. Yes, there was a time when she threw herself down the steps.
We're doing episode 10.
Suicide attempt.
Huh.
You know. And you know, she it was just, you know, she was very open about things. And like I said, you know, her death caused a lot of things, protocols to be, you know, she was, you know, when she got divorced, she was stripped of her HMH, you know, Her Majesty, or, you know, Her Majesty. She got.
But she was still able to keep the princess name.
Right, no. She wasn't.
No?
She was. They stripped her of her title.
You know, I always found it amazing how they do that. They have princesses, the royal family, how they do things in that country. You know, it's like,
right.
You can never see any of that out here, though. I mean, I know they got their own ways of doing it, but just like
Right.
having a queen and all that royal
But
family.
when she married Charles finally, she's not called the princess. She's called Duchess. Like they did for Fergie, she's called the
Yeah.
Duchess. And they were
Uh-huh.
going to do it for Diana.
Mm.
But what they did do for her was they put the royal flag on her casket,
Hmm.
which I thought was very nice. And they, like I said, they did fly the Union Jack half mast over, which has never been done before
Mm.
in the castle.
Yeah.
And like I said, the Queen did make a address to people, which she hadn't done in like 50 years.
I never
You
saw
know?
that. How did she react? Did she look all like she didn't care?
No, she did care. You know why I think the Queen is a class act? Because and they showed this, when the casket went past them, nobody had to tell her to bow, but she did bow her. She bowed
Mm.
because that is a sign of respect, and that's why. I think that.
But did she do it just for good PR, or did she really mean
No.
it?
No, they did say that, that is something that's bred in her. She's been trained.
Oh yeah.
It's just, nobody had to tell her to do that. Because, I can't see anybody telling the Queen to do anything because she is a bird. She is a feisty little bird. She really is.
She's still alive right now, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, it
And
still
what's
is.
Charles up to?
Yeah.
What's up with the royal family? Because I don't keep tabs of that. So what's going on with them now?
Well, I know a lot of it is on William and his wife Kate and all that stuff, and of course,
Oh yeah.
Harry is dating this one girl, but who knows? So what if she? I don't know what it is. They just keep tabs on those two, basically. Do you
I think-
remember when William was was he like the top sex teen idol over there years
He
back?
was like the
Yeah, he was.
bachelor or something. He really
Yeah,
was.
he definitely inherited both his mom and dad's looks. Definitely.
Yeah, he is a handsome. He was a handsome young man. He still is.
Yeah.
But the last thing I
But
heard about,
he's a hair transplant.
but I think that's like in the family because I think they all are. So, because
Yeah, I know Charles as well.
I think his grandfather's like that.
Hmm.
But last thing I heard, major, was that Prince Philip stepped down from his
What?
duties. Yeah.
Yeah, he retired at like the age of 97.
Yeah, because he was in bad health. He's in poor health.
Oh.
He's 97.
I was gonna just say I'll be happy if I can make it to 97.
But you can't tell. My God, they really are for being in their 90s and things like that. And I think if she's not in her 90s, she's close to her 90s. They really do, They really do. I don't want to say they're preserved. They're still.
They're
out
well
there.
preserved like a jar jam.
I think that Charles is probably saying, "Geez, why don't you step down?"
And aren't they happy they didn't inherit his big ears?
And now I guess she had, she will become the Queen Mum. Then I guess when she
Queen
does.
Mum.
Yeah, right. He's like 97, 96. Yeah, he's.
I'm trying to
yeah.
find some pictures. Oops! Oh man, I took off the wrong one. I'm trying to find some pictures so I could show. I'm curious to see what.
Yeah, because she is, Princess Di. She was in a whole kind of things. She was very active within the AIDS. She was a friend of Brian White.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And into fashion. She was a fashion plate. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yes.
Oh yes, there they are. There's the future.
Harry Lily
Yep, there's the
and
future.
his wife.
Yep, and his brother.
Look at that
Harry.
ginger. Yeah, you're right about that ginger hair though. That is, I don't know. That's kind of. It is kind of suspicious, isn't it? Yeah.
But I always think they look very, I don't know, doggy. I know Adam will know what I meant by that, but you know,
when you compare their faces, they do look different in a way.
They do.
but
Very
I
much.
mean,
Yeah.
it just seems like every royal family photo looks stiff a lot of times. Where you know, Diana wasn't. You know, her and Fergie when Fergie was there.
Her and Fergie were the party animals. They love to have fun.
I think it was like, you know,
They didn't seem stuck up like the royal family.
Oh my God, they actually,
Fergie, by the way.
huh?
Did she drop off the face of the planet, Fergie?
No. I mean, she never was one for the spotlight, so, you know, I knew she did that Weight Watchers thing, I do believe.
Oh
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
Issues there.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, when they were saying things in this documentary about behind the scenes where, you know, they had like representatives from each one of the houses, and then there was this box in the middle of the table where it was from Balmora, and everybody was going, you know, well, you know, Charles wanted to walk behind the casket. He thought, you know, he had that right, and this one wanted that one, and all of a sudden, the woman that was there had said, all of a sudden, this, you know, voice came out of this box, and it was Prince Philip, and he said, "My God, you know, we're talking about the boys. They just lost their mom, you know." They just lost their mom, you know, and people didn't realize, you know, finally figured out, yeah, that was the problem.
Hey, you want to see a rare picture of the Queen smiling? That's something you don't see every day. Hold on, check this shit out. Hold on. Oops.
Oh, I love their little girl is so cute. She is so cute, the princess. Did we lose Earl? Because he was trying to come back in, but
Not here, guys.
okay.
Here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I love the way, you know. Oh, look, there's Carmella. There's Camilla.
Yeah.
Horse
Whoopie
face.
King Kong.
Of course, you know. And, you know, Diana's death really did make a whole bunch of new protocols because, like, you know, they weren't prepared for something like that. So a lot of things that, you know, they actually they had her funeral in Westminster Abbey, and they said it's kind of funny, you know, when that they said this, but they were worried that they weren't going to be able to fill the 2,000 spaces in there. Can you believe that? We're talking about, you know, Diana, who was known all over the world, and they were afraid that they weren't going to be able to fill the cathedral.
That's no surprise. She was that big of a deal there.
Yeah.
She was.
But they were like really afraid that they weren't going to have that many people. But my God, they, you know, so the guy said, you know, all you had to do is if you got a, you know, her Christmas drink list from like 80 something, like, you know, 85 or whatever, then you would know that's who to invite. You know what I mean? I can take go. Sorry. But I mean, you know, I know that I remember, I believe it was Elton John there because he sang English.
The new Candle in the Wind, Goodbye England's Rose.
Goodbye English Rose.
Yeah.
And I remember you could only buy it you could only gotten that. You know, it's hard to get that.
How do you think they feel about Kate Middleton? Because she's a lot like Diana was, like the party, and you know, she's not your typical, you know.
I do believe that she will come into her.
So I'm looking at her picture. She has some pictures where you can see a lot of leg and a lot of skin.
Yeah.
Her in a bikini. Yeah, she's hot.
Yes, I have. Well, props up to William for choosing her as his bride.
Yeah. I give him a lot of props.
I mean, they do their homework and research for that. They do. I mean, you know, if Grandmom did not approve of it, then it wouldn't have gone anywhere.
Yeah.
It would. A lot of people don't realize that. Yeah, Grandma has a lot of pull in that,
Hmm.
and and I don't know if you've ever seen her daughter, Princess Margaret, I believe her name is. She looks just like her mother.
Does she? Let me look right now.
Yeah.
Princess Margaret?
I do believe that's her name. Yeah, because I do believe that Princess Anne is the Queen's sister.
Hmm.
Is it? I know that Adam would know.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm looking. Let me show.
Then she looks just like her mother.
Yeah, guys, you also remember the tribute albums that came out in her honor, that's supposed to be in her honor? There was one, it was a double disc set that's like in honor of, what was it? I forgot the name, but it was like a tribute album of her.
It was done by
But it
Skinny
was,
Puppies. I'm sorry, just joking.
No.
I love talking about it.
Yeah, but it was all, but the thing was, most of the songs were songs we already know.
Right.
And no original compositions. Like, one of them was Puff Daddy's I'll Be Missing You, which of course ripped off Every Breath You Take by the Police. But the problem was, that song was originally written for Notorious B.I.G.
Right.
Yeah, and then you had this on but yet they could have at least come up with some original material, something like that.
Well, I'm sure they got permission to use
Well,
it.
then you had that one R.E.M. song.
Well, I know Diana did a lot with the mines.
Uh-huh.
In wartime, or the mines. Yeah, there she is. Doesn't she look like her mother?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Mhm.
But I mean, during when in the countries that had war, she was all for binding the mines, because that can be devastating if you step on those. A lot of kids were becoming amputees and being devastated by that. I know that was one of her causes.
Uh-huh.
I do remember that when Johnny Versace was murdered.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yes, I remember that as well.
Mm-hmm.
That was before Princess died. And you know what? I remember Elton John crying right in the church, and Princess Di was right next to him, consoling him. And then after a while, Princess Di died, so God knows what Elton John must have been feeling at that time after that happened.
Well, it wasn't that much after that she died.
I know, yeah.
And like I said, she was.
And who died a week after Princess Diana?
Who?
And who died a week after Princess Diana?
No.
Versace?
No. He died
Couple.
before. He died before because she was at his funeral.
Exactly, yes, I remember. Yeah, I was explaining it.
Yeah.
Mother Teresa died
Yeah.
like a week after Princess Diana. You would have made some money on that bet. Yeah, I bet Mother Teresa outlives Princess Diana.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that.
Yes. She was Olympic. You're right there, Adam. She was in the Olympics. They always look like horse people, though. You know what I mean?
Horse people. Horse curd.
Polo, and that is very big over there.
Oh, yeah.
She, I know she had so many causes. Okay, I couldn't remember which one was which. Yep, I couldn't remember. I knew there was a Margaret, and I knew there was an Anne.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Princess Anne is her daughter, and
Hey,
Margaret.
I'm impressed that you knew that. I didn't even know that. I always say I don't.
I do my homework when it comes to something new. Like I said, I've always had a infatuation with Princess Di.
You
I
wanted
always,
to, you wanted to eat her out. I'm sorry.
I it's not that.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry. That was not very nice of me.
She
Always,
wants that's royal.
She wanted that Royal Crown Cola.
I have liked reading about the royals. I mean, the Tudors too. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's Princess Anne. Is that Princess Margaret? I think that's. I can't remember.
Oh, they interrupted SmackDown? Oh, that's not cool.
Yeah, because it's a big deal over there.
Yeah, but not over here. I'm sorry to say that.
I mean, it was a big deal when the Queen Mum died. Because I mean,
Yeah.
I
Yeah, leave it to me to say that, really.
know, because to knock some sense into him.
I know that was uncalled for. I'm sorry.
But I mean,
Maybe I'm sorry.
she just, she really, I mean, she really is a hero of mine because, not only for all the all the charities that she did, but because she was so open about being unhappy and depression and things like that.
Yeah,
that was
she was
a
having.
big thing. Yeah, that was a big thing for somebody, a royal to say, they're depressed.
Very brave, because usually got to put up this front like they're happy, they're glee, they're this, they're that, and got to keep up that public image that you're on top of the world. And it's like, for Diane to do that, it's like, whoa.
Right. I mean, I can't imagine, because my husband and I were talking about this today, that all these people say, oh, how wonderful their life has to be, and how much fun, and how much they're famous and things like that. But if you think about it, they're like probably some of the most miserable people at times, because no matter what, you have to put on a happy face. You have to be dignified.
Yeah.
You can't break down, which is why the Queen was getting so much hate, because it's not that she's cold, it's just that's what they train you to do. You cannot show emotion because it's beneath you to do that. I mean, but and
Training to be like a robot.
right, you have to be in control because people do look up to you. I couldn't imagine having a whole nation of people looking up to you for support when things go wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's got to be. And I felt really sad or bad about the military guards that had to carry her casket into the Abbey, because they said that her casket was lined with lead.
Wow.
So you can imagine how, I think they said it was like 20 stones or something like that. I don't know how much a stone is in weight.
14 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine that?
That's 280 pounds. That's not unreasonable.
Why would he put lead in Diana's casket?
I don't know, but I don't know. All I know is that they said that was, and the Abbey floor is marble, so you can imagine, and they have like metal studs on their shoes. Oh, well, yeah, I bet, because, and it's on an island, too. And that's what they were saying, that, the Abbey floor being marble, it's like a skating rink. So can you imagine having to carry that heavy? That's not, I mean, it's 200 and some pounds, but that's not even including her in it. You know what I'm saying? You have to add that weight to it. Can you imagine having that on your shoulders?
I can only
And-
imagine. Yeah.
Being scared to death that if you make one wrong move, you could fall and slip, and that would be
Destroy the
disastrous.
and look like an absolute idiot.
Yeah, because I mean, anything could happen. I've seen, other like videos of people where their casket has fallen and it's opened up, and
Oh boy.
that's all. That would be horrible for that to
Oh
happen.
boy. Especially for that occasion, whoever just slipped and fell and did all that, their heads would be they'd be
Right.
hanging right now because that's considered a total disrespect.
Well, yeah, and because she was loved,
Way
She-
love.
She was the people's princess, and Tony,
Yeah.
what's his name?
Blair.
Yes, Tony Blair. When he announced her death, he called her. That's who gave her that name, the princess, the people's princess, because he said she was the people's princess. She might not have that royal title anymore, but she was a princess to them.
Princess of the people, basically.
Yeah, she was.
And
Yeah.
I know you guys we all remember, what happened at her funeral, though, with her brother when he stood up to give that eulogy.
Yeah.
He took pop shots at the royal family.
Ah. Yeah.
And he not only called them out, he called the paparazzi out. And what I didn't know that I learned from the documentary was that at the time of her death, they weren't speaking, her and her brother, because she asked to live in a cottage on, I believe it's Hilo.
Kitty,
I,
I'm really impressed. You know so much about him, man. It's like, wow.
Mhm.
I'm really, really impressed.
Yeah, because I mean,
And scared, but impressed. I'm not
I-
scared. It's cool.
yeah,
you know?
I like history. I've always loved
Yeah.
history. And I
I'll start
like,
calling you erotic princess. That's almost
I mean, I
Princess
like,
Kitty.
Erotic history teacher.
Yeah, why do I feel like I'm back in school? No detention. I don't want to go to detention. I never went there anyway.
that this branch of the family, because they are related to the Tudors, and they're related to the Henry VIII.
Uh-huh.
Had the 6 wives. Everybody knows that story. And her grandmother, I believe it was her step grandmother, is the romance author, Barbara Cartland. I don't know if you've ever heard that name, but
No.
yeah.
Oh.
Yep. And and they're also related in another thing. Oh, I do. I love England there, Adam. I really do.
Adam, I have a lot of respect for England. A lot of all my favorite bands and artists come from England, and I've always wanted to check it out. Check out London. Check out. I went to visit that water mill in Oxfordshire where the cover for the first Black Sabbath album was taken. I would like to check that area.
Well, thank you, TJ. And I knew you'd know who it was, Adam. Yeah, that's her step grandmother. And come on, Adam. I'm going to be honest with you. Where else can you get authentic Cadbury chocolate, hot chocolate?
You can get Cadbury out here.
Yeah, but it's not authentic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Adam knows what I'm talking about.
A lot more nice. A lot more nicer. I haven't had Cadbury in a long time,
Oh, I love Cadbury. Hell, I love any kind of candy as long as it doesn't have any nuts in it. I'm allergic.
Yes, we are talking about Diana. We have to talk about, Herod.
Question, do they still bury in England, I mean, people over in England, do they still bury people barefoot over there?
Well, what?
Bury up because I remember it was a tradition years back that people are buried with their bare feet.
I thought they did that here too. That they don't bury you with shoes on. Because,
Well, you're a redneck. You'll be buried bare feet.
no, I'm saying why would I mean? A lot of times they don't bury shoes.
Because for some reason,
About
remember the Paul McCartney is dead rumor. One of the I remember reading that one of the traditions of a burial in England is that they have burying barefoot. And since Paul McCartney was barefoot on the Abbey Road album cover, you know,
right?
basically, I was wondering. I see that. Yeah, look at the little kitty on the screen there with the crown on it. That's
Yes.
for you.
I'm not telling you guys, but
Yes.
I do have a tiara. Okay.
Wait, are you sure Kraft owns Cadbury now? Are you sure about that?
It does. They do. You know.
I love Kraft caramels. Those are so good.
I am.
I'm getting hungry now.
You know. It just. I thought this would be like a really good topic because you know. All right, guys. Do you guys? I mean, I know you don't, Adam, but what about you, JT and Sam? Do you guys remember where you were when you heard about?
Well, I remember.
Yes, Sam. Do you know where you were? Where'd that come from?
Because I mean, I do remember. You know.
Yeah, I remember. Basically, I remember. I heard about it. It was the car wreck, the wreck on a Saturday night, and it was all over the news. And then the next day, I guess about the same time next morning, after I had breakfast, I read that she died, and I was like, holy cow! I was like everywhere. So I took a drive when I was driving that afternoon around the Algonac area, Algonac, Michigan. I had my radio tuned to a few AM stations, and it was all over. You know, Princess Diana is dead. You know, and it's like, wow, holy cow!
Well, see, I can always remember it because I was pregnant with my daughter. So, you know,
I was pregnant too with my daughter. Wait,
what? That's why I couldn't believe it that it was like, you know, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and already there's anniversary souvenir magazines out there right now as well.
Yep.
Commemorating this.
And you know, and I do remember like when my father worked for like the government, so he was always going overseas and things like that. And he took my son and my mother to England, and she actually did get me something from Harrods. She got me like this little crystal angel from Harrods.
Oh wow, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Harrods is a department store that Dodi Fayed's family owned.
Oh wow, really? That's cool.
You know, because you know that she, you know, what year?
Yeah, 1997, dude. I put it in the chat as well.
Yep, it was 97.
Yeah.
Because this happened August, September, and I had my daughter in December, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's how I, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 20 years. Yep. Yep. It is the anniversary, and you know, I always think that like the 10-year mark and the 15, you know, it's always like, what is it, like 5 and then 10 and 15 and then 20.
It's hard to believe
20,
it's 20 years.
35, 30, 35, 40, all that stuff.
Oh, I'm so glad that you were able to watch some of this, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
I realize that it's so late for you, and you always do that. Sleep well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, take it easy, Adam. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Have a good one, Adam. Thanks for being in the chat, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
And you're not,
All right.
you're not funny, Bailey.
What? What did I do?
Why does he look like a genie cat?
That's all I could find.
The Aladdin. She's Aladdin. And
Yeah,
that's
a,
yep. See? Uh-huh. Yep, I was 27. Was it no, 28? Yeah, I just turned 28.
I'm 44 now, so I forgot how old I was then.
One.
I was what?
Yeah,
You have been 24.
I was
at the time.
24? Yeah, I was 24. I can't even remember what I did last
Yeah,
night.
'cause I was 28.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, you're 4 years.
I remember I was, like I said, I was 31 that year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It really hits me when you see, these little. I remember when William and Harry were born, and now they're having kids of their own. That's when you really feel old. It's like, what the hell?
Do I need to ask what? I can't. Yeah, I was.
It's 20. You just take 20 away from your age now.
My brain's all fried. Too much weed.
I don't know. It looks like it. It looks like there might be a Zumba under there.
I think there is a room under there. Yeah.
Because Kitty's not happy, is she?
Yeah, I was born in '73, so it happened, and she died in
97.
97.
Yeah. I remember when she got married.
My memory's getting worse with my age. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I just figured, we spent a little time talking about her because she was a wonderful person. Faults and all.
I had no idea you really were into her that much, Kitty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love, for some reason, because we don't have royalty here. I mean, the closest
Other than the Kennedys.
right, that's the closest thing we've had, and I wasn't really. I mean, I love Jackie O. I thought Jackie O was, I like strong women for some reason. I mean, I like strong, independent women like that.
You like strong women.
They get my they trying to think of how to say this. You get my respect because they are, because they are so different than other women. And she may appear to have been fragile, but I don't think she was fragile. She had a good heart. And she let that show a lot of times, and people thought that was a weakness.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a weakness.
Okay, how old would she be today if she was still alive?
Wow.
Good
Well,
question.
Yeah.
I know, because I'm not quite sure when she was born. I know she was like 20 or so when she got married, and that was in 81.
If I remember.
Right. Let's see. Let me do a little tab here and ask.
Yeah, Google it.
Yep.
Or Wikipedia. That usually helps.
Would Diana be in 2017? She would have been 56.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy. 56.
So she was 36 when she died.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. 'Cause she was born on her birthday. What would have been her 56th birthday was July 1st.
Wow.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, they even have things like what she would look like today.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
do they?
Yeah.
Let me look that up. I gotta see.
Yeah, it's what she would have looked like at 56. I don't want to know.
No,
I'm
we're
a-
not gonna- myself.
I don't think she would have let herself go because she was into fitness. I mean, you know, basically with the, you know, the, yeah, she did have,
Photos.
huh?
I'm seeing photos of her. Some tabloid printed now some photos of her in her workout gear doing some exercising and stuff, working out the machine. And like,
I knew there were
wow.
pictures of her in her bikini on Fayed's yacht, and she looked damn good.
Yeah, and they hated
Yeah.
They hated those pictures of.
Hey, you know, all I can say is, you know, she was not a royal, and that's her, you know, that's her business, you know.
Yeah.
But she did hate. I mean, as much as public figure, she hated her. I mean, I can understand why.
Yeah.
You know, just because you're a public figure, yes, I realize that you have no private life, but
Yeah,
there are just
unfortunately, you
some
don't.
things- kids,
Yeah.
you know, you don't have to, you know, and it's even worse because you can't shelter the kids because they're public
You're
figures.
going to be caught up in it as well, no matter what.
Hey.
And you know what? You know, brought up something like that. You know, we should also bring up the paparazzi because
Oh,
they did
God, yeah.
do it.
It's something.
Because, you know, so I don't know how it is today, but it's still like that today. You got to get that first shot because you remember, if you get a shot with Diane with Doi Fayed in a limousine, that picture can make him money. So all these paparazzi idiots or vultures with cameras are going to go after you because they want to get that first shot.
Yep.
But
You know,
I think that because of her,
Yeah.
she is. Because of her death, I do think that they've changed some of the. They've gone after the paparazzi a little bit more.
They sure as hell did, you know.
Because it was, I mean, you know, they were making, you know, they were chasing her.
They were on their little scooters and such. You know, got to get that shot. Hurry up. If you get that shot, you won't get paid because,
All that, you know, all these flash bulbs going off in the driver's eyes, and him being, if he was drunk. I mean, no wonder they crashed. You know,
yeah, that's true.
you know,
You
if
gotta-
you're,
You
you
gotta
know,
keep,
if
you
you're in the,
gotta drive on the road, and it's kind of hard to do that with all these pud whackers, you know, flashing their bulbs from behind you.
yeah, because, oh yeah, I mean, it's always, you know, the shot that everybody wants.
Yep.
I mean,
All that money they make, they don't care who they hurt.
if you think about it, Jackie O went through the same thing. You know, even after, you know, Onassis died and after Kennedy died, you know, she wasn't allowed to. You know, she was another one that wasn't allowed to mourn. You know, she had, you know, she was still in the same pink suit that had bloodstains on it when they swore Johnson in. You know, she didn't get time to mourn. You know, and I feel sorry for, you know, I know that people say, well, you know, that's have to
Well, do you
expect
guys
that.
know when
Yeah,
she
but
died, they were
probably
taking.
was-
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bill.
There probably wasn't a great deal of time there. They don't leave a vacuum of the presidency.
Right.
From the time that he got,
Come
from
on,
the time
you know?
Kennedy got pronounced "you're dead," you know, they were at a race to swear in the vice president. They don't jerk around.
Well, did the
They need-
paparazzi that were
They need
chasing?
somebody in that position.
Yeah. Hey, were the paparazzi that were chasing Diana? Did they get in trouble for that? Did they go to jail or anything happen?
I'm
I
not.
hope.
Since they were like chasing her. I mean, they have to be liable for that, don't they?
They are. I mean, they were the enablers in the crime there. You know.
They're also protected by the, you know, I believe the First Amendment. I think that's.
This happened in France, so I wouldn't assume anything as far as protections from amendments and that.
Yeah, it's a lot different. They get away with more over there.
Streets are
I
different.
don't
You
know
gotta.
if it's more or
Nice.
less, but I know it's different.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not sure whether they got arrested, but I do know they got talked. You know, they were talked. You know, questioned and things like that. I mean, it's not going to do anything for anybody to sue. You know.
If nothing else, they were who's going to sue? The Fayed family? They're already billionaires.
Right.
You know, her family, they're the royal family of England.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what good is some more money going to do them, especially what they're going to get from somebody making paparazzi salary?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but just, you know.
I'm sure they're talked to, if nothing else, as witnesses to the accident.
I don't know. I know that they've been cracked down on. I know.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh,
But there's
Yeah.
also another. Yeah, but since then, technology has advanced. There's a little thing called drones, where you can be, you know, I don't know the exact distance on these things, but you can be off of somebody's property and taking a picture.
Oh
through their
yeah,
phone.
they use those all the time now, paparazzi.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's off topic.
Until
but,
you get
know,
shot
is
down.
about this paparazzi. That is a new thing.
Oh, well, yeah. You know, it's a shame because, you know, that all this had to come about because of her death, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Like
there was
we
fight
just like we
about-
were discussing, you know, it had to take how many kids' lives after that shooting in Colorado for everyone to realize about the bullying situation in high
Right.
schools and shit. They always and also here's this, it had to take Karen Carpenter's death to
Right.
make people aware of what anorexia was.
Right. I mean, you know, I know Diana did have bulimia and anorexic at times, you know?
Yeah.
That is a very bad, you know, disorder to have.
Yeah.
It
Very-
kills a lot of
Very
people
dangerous.
every day. And you think that would be a really good lead-in thing here for the next topic, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, because you know, with all these girls trying to look like this, trying to look like that, you know, getting the wrong impressions, you know, in fact, here's something else. You know, girls, you know, think it's okay, you know, to get pregnant at such a young age. Think it's because they see all these actresses, you know, having babies, you know, being a single parent as such and such. But yet they got tons of money. They probably got mannies. They got revenue coming in. Where these girls in the future are going to be on food stamps and shit.
It's not easy being
So if it gets a job, they put down their gaming shit and stuff.
right. I mean, you know.
Got to realize that.
Right. I know the next topic. I know Sam's like really, really excited for us to talk about this. We're going to go into mental health awareness.
But before we do that, I want to point a few things about the Joe Osteen video. I mean, Bailey was mentioning. I was mentioning Bailey about that has got to be now. That is the most hit up video on my channel. And so when I checked before when I spoke to Kitty on a Friday night, I was checking. It's like over 900 views. And no, basically now it's. No, now I checked again. It was over 1.1k views. That's over 1,000, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, and the comments, you know, well, basically, keep coming in saying, you know, in support of me, like he's not a man of the God, he's a man of wealth, and all that kind of stuff. You know, basically, and now there were some that I didn't want to address. You know, some idiot out there who I deleted with a fake account. It must have been a fake account because, you know, they changed their name. Some is saying that this coming from a Satanist with crooked teeth. Well, let me tell you something, jackass out there. I am not a Satanist. I have a Bible in my room. Thank you very much. Never will I worship Satan. Never will I ever do that. And as far as my crooked teeth, you're going to pay for all that, homie? Exactly. You're going to pay for all that? I mean, come on. I mean, dentists are expensive. You know, it's not something I'm happy about, but what the fuck, you know? And to the other guy who said I look like a Weird Al Yankovic, well, let's see what you look like, Jack. All right? You know? I mean, you gotta remember that, you know, and not everyone. I've been called, you know, a couple of things like Howard Stern, Ozzy Osbourne. You know, the Dave Rose thing was a trip because I didn't know what he looked like months before I checked out his channel. But, and by the way, I don't want anybody saying that I should go to rehab because, like I said, I do not do drugs. I've been straight all my life, and it's been ages since I even had a beer. Thank you very much, folks. But everybody else out there for the compliments, I love you all. By the way, check out my other videos just as well. They're pretty much good as well. All right, that's all I need to say. Back to your local state. Back to your usual topics.
Sure about that.
Skinny puppy all the way. Oh, sorry.
What up?
Nothing. I just said skinny puppy all the way. Yeah. Every time I think of skinny puppy, I think of you, Dr. O. No, but yeah, you know, all the haters on the comments for Dr. O, that was fucked up, you know. You don't know him. He's a good guy, and he's not...
Not all the comments. A lot of them was like, respect to you, you know, you're, God bless you, Earl, you know, you're right about this, you know, this is one of the big reasons why people turn away from religion. The other, the abuse from the Catholic priests, you know, abusing boys and girls and all that shit, you know. And Sam also likes Skinny Puppy as well, Bailey, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Not a problem.
Album, Sam? What's your favorite album from Skinny Puppy, Sam?
Kitty! Heel! Heel!
No! It's okay!
Heel!
You know?
I'm gonna whip you with you. Heel!
No, this is ridiculous.
What is?
What?
What?
You know, I was doing this topic because people asked for it. You know what I mean? It's...
Go right ahead, Kitty.
Important. No, it's okay, you know? It's really important. But if you guys don't think it's important, you know?
No, Kitty, stop.
No, I'm serious. If it's not important.
I had to get... Sorry about that.
You just have to get that out.
Yeah.
I understand. I really would have given you a lot of time.
Well, we got more time, so you can do your thing.
Yep.
I know that.
Remember, the show's in my control, so I control the power of the show. Now, the power's back to you, Kitty. Go ahead.
All right, go right ahead.
Well, I do control the show. I turn it on and turn it off.
Out of the air.
No, Sam, it's not your fault. It's nobody's fault.
Nobody, no. It's no one's fault.
Yeah, Kitty just, you know, when she does her show, you know how she gets. We know how she gets, but we love her anyway.
Yeah, because it does, I mean...
Okay, Kitty, back on topic. Go ahead.
But, I mean, it does, like, really disrupt my thinking process. You know what I mean? It really does. And then it goes, the show goes really long. And, I mean, I knew that Sam really did want to hear about, you know, anxieties. And I know you. You know, because we all have this in our lives. You know what I mean? It's not something that we, you know, we have a friend that has it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Oh, this is mental health. I thought we were doing mental health. You know, the Quiet Riot album?
No, we'll save that off the record.
That's not...
Kitty, come on. Get a sense of...
You guys...
Kitty, as your producer, I say get a sense of humor.
No, come on. This
Kitty?
Okay, come on. Let's
yeah,
move
get back
along,
on topic, Kitty. Yeah,
you have the floor.
You have the floor, yeah.
There's time for jokes and stuff, but mental illness, you know what I mean? It's...
Honestly, Kitty, if I don't joke right now, I'll go crazy, so I have to keep doing that.
I know that.
You know that for a fact, yeah. Okay, go ahead, Kitty.
No, I mean, you know, you guys can't paint me as the bad guy. That's all I'm saying.
We're trying to get back on track here, so...
Yeah, get back on track.
It does, you know... I like I said, everybody on this show and in the chat is touched by this this issue. It's not, like I said, it's not like something that we know somebody. Which is why it's kind of a personal thing to me. Because
oh, trust me, it's a big thing for me too. You know that.
Yeah, because I'm sure that we can all agree that there are certain stigmatisms now. Stigmas on mental health.
Oh yeah, it is. And it is huge. It is very, and it's very thick. You have trouble cutting it with a pickaxe, let alone a knife.
Yeah.
Just like what you were saying about those comments and stuff. They do that. They, for some reason, people's body image and their mental health are like the last taboos that can be, I don't know, talked about or joked about.
Uh-huh.
You can say anything about how, just like, they were saying how, you were on drugs and, they could say you're crazy and nobody would get mad about that. That's what I'm trying to say. People can say, they can talk about, a fat girl being a whale and people won't get upset about that. It's, as if, like they would if you would say, oh, well, she's a lesbo, or, she's the N-word. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying about there's a lot of stigmas on mental illness and that, because people can say you're crazier than a shithouse rat, and nobody will say anything about that. Look at when I was doing research for this about, a lot of like the depressions and a lot of the mental issues that we have now. They were putting these people in institutions and performing, lobotomies, taking pieces of their brain, or doing electroshock treatment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but the science has come a long ways.
Yeah, but
as recently as I think the 50s, being gay was considered a mental illness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We have made progress.
Right, but I'm saying that's what I'm saying is that some of these, like, a lot of people think that people, just the homeless people, are just bums or something. They don't realize that a lot of these people, the institutions let out. They just drop them off into, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I think Reagan cut the funding for them. Not to get political about it, but when they don't have funding, what are they supposed to do? Just produce food out of nothing?
It's called compassionate release, where they just put them out on the street.
That's not compassionate.
Call that compassion? Hell no.
Yeah, that's
they
because
could put them in a shelter or something like that.
Right, and
the shelters are having budget issues as well, because they got to rely on donations.
Yeah.
It just seems like okay. I looked up some facts, some truths about depression, and the National Mental Health Society estimates that in the United States, this is just in the United States, 16 million adults have had at least one major depression episode in this year, in 2012, and they say that's 6.9% of the population.
Okay.
And they said the World Health Organization, WHO, estimates that 350 million people worldwide suffer from depression. And It's the leading cause of disability now. Did you guys know that?
I believe it.
I'm just wondering how much of this, if you were to go into, like, just for example, way deep in the Amazon and tested these people who've like never seen an iPad or a car before, if they would have the same incidence of depression and that as those who live in the quote-unquote modern culture.
They may.
I'm just wondering if the depression is,
it's not.
I don't know. I'm getting way off the sidetrack.
No, it's not. It's not all. Ooh. It's not all environmental.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it's genetic. So if they didn't, even if they didn't have those, there'd probably be a good chance if they had it in their genetics.
I wasn't aiming at so much at genetics as social as, what people are expected to be. I know it's real easy to bash on like advertising, but they're a heavy culprit. Wherever they show all these skinny women in bikinis and Bud Light commercials, and this is what you're supposed to be, and if you do this, this is what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And
that doesn't. I mean, that's more body. Your body image.
That's the body image issue right there.
that, and it's not just that. You're supposed to be driving this new, Mercury whatever or Corvette, or you're supposed to have this job by this age. You're supposed to have this degree, and it's just. I'm just wondering if society is setting up all these expectations, and people who don't meet them are the primary candidates for depression.
Right.
In a way, it kind of does, because when person doesn't live up to those expectations, your kind of people get disappointed in you, and they're like, they expect you to be a lawyer, they expect you to be a executive at this company, and they expect you to be like this, and when you're not, when you don't succeed now they look down at you like you're a supply. I was hoping you'd be this, but no, you had to be a record producer. You had to be roadie for a band. Like, geez, man, when they that kind of brings a lot of hurt onto that.
Or you're 40 years old, you're flopping whoppers. It's kind of hard not to at least have a little bit of depression at that point.
Yeah.
No, don't do it.
Okay, this is some of the facts that I did pick up here. That are normal, a human. Everybody has a bad day once in a while. That's not what we're talking about. Everybody can have a bad day. Everybody can be happy, sad.
Everybody's had a girlfriend leave them. Everybody's got a traffic ticket or a parking ticket. That's not depression. That's just shit happens.
It usually goes away.
Yeah.
If it goes away days, then it's not a depression. Okay, major depression is over a period of time. It may be weeks, months, years, and there are different kinds of depression. I didn't realize, I do know from experience, but it says these feelings are usually accompanied by other emotional or physical symptoms. And I do know that's not bullshit, because I do know that when I am in a depressed state, I do feel more aches and pains than I usually do. I don't know if you guys have had that problem.
Mm-hmm. I have.
Yeah.
You feel more run down.
Yeah, you don't have any ambition. You're fine just sitting there binge watching Netflix. You don't want to get up and do the dishes or whatever. You just want to stay put and just veg out. It
says when depression lasts 2 years or more, it's called persistent depressive disorder, which that has gone through like 5 name changes now, because it used to be called melancholia, being melancholy. It was called.
Yeah, they love renaming stuff.
Yeah, it was. When I was diagnosed with that, it wasn't called persistent. It was, it was called dysthymia. Now it's called persistent, depressive disorder. So, it's really hard when they keep renaming stuff. Says the less common.
Can't pronounce.
Oh, I know. Or spell. You know what I mean? Some of these things.
I know.
Yeah. So I took, that was part of my training when I was doing medical assisting, is that, we had to learn how to spell these. So
I blame the dictionary maker, so this way you need to get a new dictionary every year, because if they change the name, it's not going to be in last year's dictionary. You got to buy the new one.
I know.
Oh, they said, okay, less common one is bipolar or manic depression. That's what that used to be called. And you were right that it does involve cycles of depression alternating with mania.
Right. And different people have different rates and different extremes on that.
I do know that Bailey and I were talking about this before the show. There is a thing, you can be perfectly normal except for in the winter months or around the holidays.
Right.
And during the wintertime it's called SAD. It's called seasonal affective disorder. And that's,
I remember reading about that.
Yeah, people don't think there is. People think that that's a bullshit thing, but it is very real, let me tell you. Because I do know somebody that had that, and they didn't understand it, and he ended up shooting his wife and killing her.
Wow.
You know what really hurts me when I read these stories or hear about them on TV about, murder suicides that happen? It's like they take out their kids who are so innocent, shouldn't even be involved. One thing, if you want to hurt yourself, but when you hurt your family, who, they're just innocent victims. It's like that makes that really hurts
in the first place.
Really terrible.
And
Bailey,
have you noticed it's more and more? You hear about it more and more every day.
Yeah, that I know this is going to sound bad, but sometimes they're not in their right mind, and I don't.
Oh, I know that. Of course, they're not in their right mind. I know that.
And I'm all thinking about a certain wrestler who was like that.
Yeah, Chris Benoit.
Yeah, they took parts of his brain.
Yeah,
and found out he had the brain of an 80-year-old. Alzheimer's patient.
Yeah.
Was that because of the continued impacts?
Right.
Because NFL players do that too. Junior Seau committed suicide.
Yeah, he did.
I'd like to point out the chat. Sam seems to have a lot here to say that we might want to address.
I was looking at that and I couldn't read that. Oh yeah.
No, Cody, of course not.
Yeah, what she said, mental abuse affects body image immensely as well, though. And she knows it personally, but yeah, society does it well, And when when the media shows a perfect woman, it affects a young girl's mind, And it shouldn't matter what you look like. It's the inside that matters, It's like
14 or 15 because what
is no such thing as the perfect woman, if you think about it.
You can have the most beautiful body on the outside, but if your heart and you're fucked up mentally, it's just like, you can be the most beautiful woman in the world, but if you got a fucked up attitude, that's gonna.
Right. How long were your episodes, Sam?
Yeah. Could be a while there.
A lot of these. They're what's called double. You can have double depression. You can have what I have which is like the long, they call it a mild. I love that word, a mild depression, but it's over years. But then you could have, on top of that, you could have what they call a major depression, where it might last for like 6 months. And, trust me, that's not a fun thing. Or they have, right. Okay. And
yeah, I'm giving no response right now.
Right. If for only a few days, well, see, yeah, yours last. I know.
Yeah,
you do.
Sam, get on the call, girl.
But I want to make sure you're
joining in, girl.
Because this, depression and the bipolar, can come with anxiety. You can get the social anxiety. You know what I mean?
That's one of the main reasons why I couldn't DJ no more. I couldn't be around a lot of people.
Right. I mean, if you notice, I'm good until there's a lot of people talking all at once like that. That sets off my anxiety. I mean, oh, my head.
Yeah, I got really bad anxiety and depression. It's not. I mean, I try to control it, but it's weird though. Sometimes during the day, I'm more depressed than at night, then vice versa. It's weird. And like Sam said, it could last for days and weeks. It depends, It's like
it's very.
Like during the holidays, I get really depressed because I miss my mom and dad a lot. It's like.
Yeah, I understand that.
That's perfectly understandable.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't call that mental illness. I just call that being human.
Right.
Well,
and plus, remember that a lot of families aren't always together because of this issue, that bickering, that this and that. Sometimes siblings don't get along, so some of that can add to it as well.
I do know that it is a fact that the holidays are like the most
depressive time.
Right, the most busiest time for suicide hotlines.
Yes, it is.
Because people do feel lonely, or, think about it. If you're somebody that's working a low-income job or, you do so much, I know growing up, my parents didn't have a lot of money when I was really small. And so they would put things on layaway and things like that. And if, I know that the one time this, it happened to a friend that they couldn't get the layaway out. So, people have that on them. Everybody wants their kids' Christmas to be great.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of pressure on somebody.
Yeah.
It is. I mean,
it's both hell to get that perfect gift. Got to go through hell to get that right. Got to get this item. Got to get that. I got to throw this in. Like, Ozzy Osbourne said one time on I guess an episode of the Osbournes that one time when he was growing up, which was a poverty-ridden area, he only one time got for Christmas an orange, something else, this item in a dirty sock. So and growing up in that kind of environment, that's gonna put a damper on your feelings towards Christmas because that's what you're gonna remember, And I knew someone who got very depressed back in Michigan, who got very depressed during the holidays because that's when his mom died, So it kind of brings back some sort of a bad memory.
I knew that. I mean, because just like Daddy was saying about, advertisements and things like that.
Yeah.
I know that during Christmas, if you can't, they make you feel like if you can't get your child this certain toy and stuff, that you're a bad, you're horrible.
Must buy this toy. We got this for sale. You got to see. Don't you want to be like this? You know, that's that marketing pressure.
Right.
Market, what you say.
Yeah. Oh, and here's a fact: 20% of people with major depressive disorders develop psychotic symptoms. I didn't know.
Like the hear voices and stuff.
I don't know. It doesn't say. It doesn't go into what psychotic symptoms there is, but I mean, psychotic doesn't always mean.
That was an important part of my life. Had the illness.
Right, and I knew they did.
Story, but I'll let you finish.
Oh no, that's right.
Her name was Nancy. She was my girlfriend for about almost 4 years. You know, she was. I found out after we started dating that she had this, you know, what they call a chemical imbalance.
Mm-hmm. That's what, like, what it is.
Yeah. Basically, she got it from both her birth father and her mom. Now, her mom was totally strung out on medications and stuff. All she did was sit on the same same couch or a chair, you know, watching the game, show network almost 24/7. The stepdad was kind of like fed up with her, but he was too busy either at work or drinking somewhere. And basically, but the thing was, you know, Nancy, you know, she, as much as I loved her, I was often fed up with her at times, because, you know, because I'm an active person. I like to go to malls. I like to go to this spot, you know, go to this place, you know, like, but the problem was she was too clinging on to me all the time because, you know, I wasn't the person that treated her like crap, you know. Like, she demanded we always eat at restaurants. She always demanded to go to parks. Every time I mentioned about going to a place like Gibraltar Trade Center, which is now officially closed back in Michigan, both in Mount Clemens and Taylor. And every times that I would go, every times I'm ready to go in, hon, she'd be like stiff scared, you know, like scared to go in. That's like, come on. One time she was like that on the way to a city club one time. She was like, you know, scared to go in. I had to go in there and get somebody to check on her, you know.
That's
many times. So many
times.
Yeah, and that's a lot of times, like one time I remember like we're on the way to somewhere else where there's lots of people. I was right after I put gas in the tank, she was with me. She was like, Earl, I want to go to Marine City. I'm like, wait a minute, we've been spending Marine City about the last weekend. I want to go now. But I had to give in, otherwise I would never hear the end of it.
Right.
You know, every time there was a lot of group, because it was like all she wanted to do was sitting out in the fields, where there's no people. And finally, she came out and said she's scared of being around lots of people. Right. She gets anxiety.
Right. It's a very real thing. Oh, here it is. It says, when major depression or bipolar disorder are accompanied by hallucinations, delusions, or paranoia, it's called psychotic depression. And
yeah, it's
that's about 20% of people develop.
Nancy also said many times that she would often hear voices telling her to take her own life.
See, now you gotta be careful because that goes into like schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Right. Here's something else that people don't realize is that 10 to 15% of women develop postpartum depression, like after they have a baby.
Yeah. Yes, I remember hearing about that.
Especially if they're like single mothers, you know, lack of sleep, you know, and that's very real thing because you hear it all the time. Susan Smith, you know, the ones that are killing their children, unfortunately, are suffering from this. You know, just the main thing about that is that, you know, if you do know somebody, or if you personally have those kind of You know, you have mood swings. You're sad and you're just tired all the time. You know, they don't go away after a week or so, and they just escalate, and you feel like you're, you know, withdrawal, your appetite changes, or you have like this negative train of thought where, you know, you just hate your life because of your child. Get help, please. Get help before.
Can't do anything because you have a kid now, and plus with people saying, "Oh, you have a kid," and comparing the kid to like a anchor on a ship,
right?
You know?
And I mean, and I know a lot of single mothers go through that because it's usually is the mother that gets, you know, I don't want to say stuck with the kid, but they do have that responsibility where the father, you know, is usually out, you know, gone,
not
you know,
involved or any of that jazz.
But a lot of them are. You know, I know a lot of guys are creeps when it comes to having a baby like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't say all of them, but a lot of them are. And unfortunately, it's the kids and the women that are paying for it.
They have to suffer from this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to commend Sam for, you know, everything she's done for her kids. You know, I know it cannot be easy for her, but you know, that right there is a definition of a great mom. More than a great mom, which more than I can say for a lot of moms in the world that don't give a shit about their kids. You know, they don't care. It's, you know. But I commend you very much, Sam.
But a lot of times, Sam, you know how it is when. Because I remember, because I was a single mom, you know, I remember, you know, when, you know, it's just you having to get up every hour to feed them.
Yeah, I never had any kids, so I can only imagine how hard it is.
Right, or, you know, they have colic where they just cry and cry and cry. It's enough to drive you crazy, it really is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you just have to... Of course you would think that, Daddy. Of course you did.
They do.
But it's not all hormones, let me tell you. A lot of it's fatigue. A lot of it is emotion. You know, you're emotional anyway, you know? But, like I said, just get help when that happens. Because I'm sure that when I've read about these women that are killing their kids and things like that.
Not just women, men too.
Right, but I'm saying a lot of women do it because of postpartum depression. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And had their cries been heard, you know, they probably would not have, you know, I know. Right, I know some people. Okay, are you ready now, Sam? Let me see. All right.
Oh, she wants to join in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's got to wait.
You know, I got to throw this in as well because I wasn't really done with Nancy. You know, she finally, you know, sadly, the voices in her head finally won in May of 2001. You know, I miss her to death. You know, it took me almost a couple years to fully recover from it, and I haven't really recovered from it. You know, I miss her, but at the same time, I resent her for ending her life. You know, I tried to tell her many times, you know, please don't do this. She did go to the hospital a few times. She even had what they call the shock treatment, ECT treatments, I think they're called, you know.
Hey.
You know, it's just, you know, I miss you, Nancy, but
listen, women are more likely to be diagnosed with depression than men are. They don't give a reason why. It just says when it comes to gender,
Is because we are run by emotions and men are run by their minds. Or their minds. We're more emotion based, is what I believe.
Right, and here I'm from. Oh, thank you for coming on this call. By the way, I know it's very.
Thank you.
Some of the symptoms, if you guys want to go over this, is feelings of sadness or emptiness that don't go away within a few weeks can be a sign of that. If you might be extreme irritability over minor things, and not one word, anxiety and restlessness, anger management issues, loss of interest in favorite activities, fixation on the past or things that have gone wrong, thoughts of suicide or death.
Yeah.
Some of the physical things, I don't know if you guys have experienced any of this, insomnia or sleeping too much. It can be both. Debilitating fatigue.
Fear of being in lots of people, anxiety for that. What do you call it? A claustrophobic or something like that.
Right. See, a lot of this can be one side or the other, like increased appetite or decreased appetite. I know it depends with me on how bad it is, but most of the time I don't eat. I don't feel like, because I know I've told my husband this, that sometimes when I'm in a really bad depression, that the food has no taste to me. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that.
Not really, no.
Like, wow. How about you, Bailey?
I'm just being quiet here. This is.
No. Have you? I mean, I want your input here. Have you? When you're having your KFC, have you ever had times where it's just not like? It's just not. You know what I mean?
Well, that happens to me a lot. That no matter what I do or try to make myself feel better, it doesn't work.
It just doesn't taste right. I mean,
even my music, at times I just don't get into it. Right. Well, that's one of the reasons why I stopped DJing. I gave it all up for a long time because.
You can have you can have a weight gain or a weight loss. And, that's why I said a lot of these, just because people think, oh, you're depressed, you lose weight. You can gain weight too.
Oh yeah. When I get depressed, I eat a lot, and I hibernate. I keep to myself. I've lost many good friends that way.
Nancy did
I don't mean to push them away and hurt them, but when I get depressed, it's happened before, and I feel bad about it. And I don't do it to hurt anybody either.
You want to be left alone, right?
I'm there. Yep.
And I know that's not healthy. I know for a fact it's not a good way to deal with it, but in a way, it's better than doing drugs or drinking or other things you can think of that would hurt you more.
That is some of it, by the way.
But I know for a fact it's not good for me to do that. I've done that for a long time.
Nancy did the same thing. She'd be like, she'd be depressed, and the comfort she had was food, And here's something else I had to throw in. Nancy was an ex-drug addict. She was clean for about a few months before we met. We were introduced. And she told me, do you think it's possible that, and I'm thinking this, I'm going back to Syd Barrett, the guy who co-founded Pink Floyd. He was schizophrenic, and yet he was also doing all these LSD trips and all that, which is not a good thing because, you can, it worsens the connection. I'm thinking that probably would probably did the same thing with Nancy and other people. Right. Any thoughts on that?
I'm not exactly sure what your question is.
Well, do you believe that street drugs like LSD, acid, can worsen the mental condition? Because that's what they're saying. Because that's what they were saying about Syd Barrett, the guy who co-founded Pink Floyd. He was schizophrenic and he was doing LSD and all that shit, while everyone was doing alcohol. And that's, and I think that contributed to him going under like he did.
A lot of times that's what they ask, and a lot of times that is what happens.
And we talked about this before. The guy from Soundgarden, the guy from Linkin Park. I mean, look at that.
Right.
You can have money, beautiful family. You can have everything, and still you're not happy, and it's not.
But you know why I think people do drugs like that and alcohol, especially alcohol. They're trying to just drown out the pain.
Yep.
Because that's what the person is.
Self-medication.
Yep.
Right. The thing is, with schizophrenia, that's hearing voices, right? That's like a kind of a disconnect from reality a little bit, and then you throw LSD in there, which is just like a much more intense disconnect from reality. I mean, that's, to me, just, like a perfect storm type of thing that cannot end well.
Yeah.
No.
That's just my opinion.
What do you think about this?
Hearing voices and adding that,
Sam, I want to hear your opinion on this.
Okay, so my story in a nutshell is 20 years in a very difficult marriage. And I got very, very depressed and very unhappy. It was a lot of mental abuse. I did turn to drugs. So that is very true. That is a way that you try to get away from this. And the way I turned to drugs is I didn't turn to drugs intentionally. I went to a doctor for a health issue and he put me on pain medication.
Right.
And that was, yep. And so then that made me feel better. And I could go through, and when my kids got older is when I finally left. And after seeking therapy, because I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, my husband told me many things. I was accused of cheating on him constantly. Nobody's going to love your body like I do. So now I have a huge, huge body complex.
No one's going to love you like I do. No one's going to put up.
Yeah. Everybody's going to hate your body because of these flaws and
I'm thinking of someone else right now. A friend of mine, a Facebook friend who lives in Chicago now, she was talking about her ex-husband doing the same thing to her, cutting her down mentally, emotionally, to the point where she was becoming an addict, an alcoholic. And basically, she has finally divorced him. She moved to Chicago. She's living a good life there. She works with mentally ill patients at a hospital. And she has a mental illness. And the guy, the idiot husband, he reportedly has a mental illness as well. Who, by the way, what did he say? Is if he ever tried calling me out on Facebook, he comes up with this threatening message: "You don't know who I am. How dare you?" And he said this in the message. He said, "quote unquote, now is Earl gonna be a good boy?" Now, what kind of people say those kind of words? Abusers. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. Now, now here's the thing, Bart. I did a posting on Facebook about those Nordstrom pants where he where you have to pay $400 for a pair of fake mudded jeans. He takes my posting. He said, "Earl, so your bum ass, it makes only this much and much, fucking scrub." So I screenshot that, posted on my page, Later on, I get a message from her saying, "Keep it up, you piece of feces." I'm like, "Piece it up," and I screenshot to his ex-wife. Ex-wife tells me, "Don't even bother no more. He's not worth your or my breath." You know, like, but you know, part of me wants to part of me wants to piss him off. Now I've checked his page. You know, first of all, this motherfucker has no right because you don't know my side of the story, fucker. I know your side of the story. You just proved it right there. You know. Sorry, I didn't want to throw it in, but still, the idea, you know, of this motherfucker trying to do that, you know, and trying to go after me. Well, excuse me, go after yourself, you dickwad, you bag of cunts, son of a bitch. How many, you know, if you're involved with someone with a mental illness, be there for them, support them, give them guidance. You know, love them unconditionally, you know? Bottom line. Am I right?
Oh, I agree, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Kitty, let me ask you, you want to finish where you started with the... Kitty?
I know, I'm getting the...
Okay.
The thing.
All right.
That I had, because...
And I'm sorry if I'm being quiet though. It's hard for me to open up. It's like.
Well, that's what this is.
It's a very touchy subject.
I know it is.
Touchy for all of us.
And I commend all of you for opening up. You, especially Sam. You know, it's like.
And there is help out there.
It's not easy. I know.
It is.
I mean, even if you've been out, even if you've got.
But you know. There's a lot more to this than getting help. You know what I mean?
But Kitty, it is good to get everybody's opinion because you know it affects everybody differently. You know.
I would like to finish up thought.
Yeah, but still, I mean, everybody, you know, should be able to say. I wish I could say more. It's hard for me, but you know. But yeah, Kitty, I think it is good. It's kind of good. It's good therapy to you know talk about it. I know I need to practice what I preach, but.
No, I mean, you know, I didn't realize. Something that I came across here is that depression may be difficult to spot in older adults.
Yeah, but I think this is good what everybody was talking about.
Yeah, you know what? That makes a lot of sense, Kitty, because if you're looking at older adults, people blame it on a lot of other things. They could say they're premenopausal. Mm-hmm. They can say many things that you would never realize.
Right, because unexplained memory loss or sleep problems. Withdrawal, what you were talking about, right, Bailey?
Mm-hmm. It's PTSD.
Right. I mean, all these things. If it's an older person, what is the first thing they say? They're senile.
Mm-hmm. Or menopausal or everything else.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you know, PTSD is very real. I woke up to my ex dead next to me more than one time and had to call 911 to get him rushed to the hospital with my kids watching. So, yes, there is a lot of mental illness, and it is very real.
And it says, for possible causes, it doesn't have one single cause. Mm-mm. It can be brain chemistry.
Like I said, it's different for everybody.
Right, it could be brain chemistry, hormones, genetics, personal risk factors, like, you know, drugs. It all plays a part, plays a role in this. You know, there's just, it's not like, I hate when a lot of people, and it's a lot of medical people that do it, they want to put everything in a catch-all. You know, oh, well, this explains it, or that explains it.
Yeah, you go see somebody, and right away they give you medication, and it's going to do more harm than good.
But most of that, they do most of that shit to get money.
Mm-hmm. All they care about is getting the money from their patients.
Exactly. They don't give a fuck. I mean, look at cancer. It's an industry. It's not just a disease, but it's a billion-dollar industry. You know, like, you see all these billboard signs that like, cancer, we have you surrounded. Bull fucking shit, homie.
It's all about making the money in the medical community.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
It is.
They don't give a what they care about. Yeah.
They say
They won't. They won't come up with a cure for diabetes. They won't come a cure for diabetic. Why? They'll be out of work.
Yep. I agree.
some of the risk factors
Mm-hmm.
are, low self-esteem, anxiety disorders, we haven't even talked about what they call borderline personality disorders, PTSD, sexual abuse.
Everything okay, guys, up there? Your extra voices.
Yeah, what's going on over there? Bailey? Bailey!
Wait.
I think he's talking to someone.
Mute!
Who's trying to pretend to be me? What? The name?
Yeah, called in.
That wasn't me.
Let's tell Ken.
Tell Ken and Joe that was not me.
Yeah.
But when you do get in tone, that was not me. What?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I was talking to Eric.
We are your alibi now, Bailey. You have not called anybody.
Yeah,
Hopefully
Eric,
not.
Eric
You're
just
very
called-
quiet,
yeah,
though.
He just called me. He just came here and told me that somebody's pretending to beat me on Ken's show right now. Really? Well, tell
Now.
whoever's fuck. I don't. Let them pretend to be me. I don't care.
Well, what on the name? Your full name is Billy Smoke.
I guess so.
Rudolph?
That's what Eric just told me. Somebody's pretending to beat me on the show right now. That's okay.
Well, you can't be in two places at
Yeah.
once, so you're okay.
Oh well. Let them bring all the hate they want. I don't care. I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm sorry. Go back. I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Kitty, what were you saying? Because you were cutting out.
I'm
There
sorry.
was
I'm sorry
Eric
about
in the
that. I'm
back.
sorry about that, Kitty. He just came in here and told me that.
You know there is a mute. Do you have a mute on your mic, Bailey, for future reference?
No, but
You don't have a mute?
there's not. The microphone doesn't have one.
Oh,
But
wow. Okay.
Skype does.
Yeah.
I'll
be right back. I'm gonna go deal with this.
Chronic diseases like diabetes, multiple sclerosis, cancer
Yeah.
can cause depression. Physical or sexual abuse does. Alcohol, drug abuse, certain prescription medications. I know for a fact about the certain prescription ones because they're that's what there used to be. I don't know if they still sell it, but there used to be something called Chantrex.
Oh, yes. For the stop smoking, right?
It also causes. It would also cause depression, and it would cause suicidal thoughts.
You know, my ex-mother-in-law was put on that, and it worked until they upped the dose. And they upped the dose, and she started to have these terrible dreams. And she's already bipolar, so the whole, I mean, you could just see her going down, down, down this hole.
A lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah.
Are certain, if you have, if you do have depression or bipolar or any kind of mental thing, a lot of the prescription medications that doctors should be aware of that could mix with, aren't a good idea. They,
Well, I mean, look at all these medications that are put out so soon after trials are done. I mean, if you think about it, they're testing them on us to see. I mean, nobody knows the long-term effects of these medications. So they're really, I mean, they've tested them on these test subjects, and they put them out in the public, and they just wait and see what happens.
And look how many, I mean, you sit there and listen to all...
Let me break it here. Every day I see on the TV a new commercial from a lawyer talking about this medical thing, this knee implant, this hip implant, this medication, this hernia mesh. It failed. We'll sue them for you.
Mm-hmm.
Every day there's something new.
They do that.
That plays it right into your point. They need to fucking do some more testing on this shit.
I mean, every day, how many times a day do you see a medication advertised on the television or on the computer, and the list of side effects? You know, it kills. Yeah. They say, "Oh, this
can cause death."
Yeah,
I love that side effect.
I know.
Or suicidal thoughts.
Right.
Yeah. For depression medicine.
Me and my brother-in-law were making a joke about that. Hurry now! If you're suffering from hair loss, take this medication. Warning: this may cause the runny nose. You know, runs in your ass. You know, may cause your fingernails to grow out. May cause your hair to fall out. But
you know, here, take this medication to help you get out of the depression. But one of the side effects is it may cause more depression. You know,
and suicidal thoughts.
That's really good to that person. You know.
We did mention that a few times. So, like, she was prescribed this, prescribed that, prescribed this. It's like one time she made a joke about taking what she called a pill salad.
And they do. That's the first thing they want to do is I really truly believe
over-medicate people.
They over-medicate them. They really do.
The big pharma fucks is what we call them.
And then they wonder why you have to up the dosage, because if you over-medicate somebody or you give them medication over time, they're going to build up a tolerance.
Exactly. So they got to have more. The same thing with the drug addiction.
That's why, when people talk about drugs, they always think of the street drugs. A lot of the addicts now are prescription medication addicts. Yes. Because
I would say probably 90% of the addicts are prescribed.
It's not
for anxiety, for depression, for
relax.
Right.
Oh my God, everything. Pain. First thing they go. I mean, and these doctors grab you. It's like it's a money maker to them. Because most of them are extremely addictive. And then you're stuck because if you have depression, the doctor has you convinced that you need these medications, and then you start having worse symptoms with one medication. I know people who have jumped through 10 or 12 different antidepressant medications. It's just to try and find the right one.
Yeah, the last one I had, which is called Zerzone, it put me in a mania.
Oh God.
And then, like, years after that, I turned on the television, and there it was, one of those lawyers that Daddy was talking about how, there was a class action suit about this. And I'm like, what? Mm-hmm.
If you may be entitled to this amount of money, you may be entitled. And most likely you may not get, if you do get the money, it may be in this sum of this payments, that payment, this payment, not all together, most likely. But they don't tell you that. Yeah,
I always think that is terrible that they don't teach. They want to teach kids to be aware of be careful of the drug pusher on the street.
Yep.
It's not the guy on the street that you got to watch out for. It's your doctor now.
Your doctor. And this is going to be bad. I don't want to talk about my brother, but my brother suffers from extreme anxiety where, he cannot leave his room unless he's on extreme medications. And he's been put on every single anti-anxiety out there. I think he's on the highest dosage of the highest thing they have out there right now. And it's still to the point where he has to drink to get through each day. So, I'm surrounded by it. My son has anxiety to the point where he'll have, I think I've mentioned it, 2-hour anxiety attacks on the bathroom floor where you just have to sit there and talk to him. And it's been really bad. That's why I wanted Kitty. I was happy that Kitty was doing this now, because I said I couldn't be on the show because I've been taking care of my son a lot the past couple days. And it is all due to the past. It's due to what he's seen and what he's been through. And it's just something that he's never, ever it's never going to go away. It's going to be a battle forever.
I love
that. Yes, we're both in therapy. And yes, I mean, no matter how much therapy you get, you're never, I mean, you might get relief. A therapist is a great output and a great source to talk to, but you're never going to be relieved of every symptom that you have. It's always going to be there in your mind.
Yeah, and you gotta get back, yeah, you feel better, you feel all right. So as I talked to my therapist, he gave me this idea, but you go back out to the outside world and all that, you're surrounded by what gave you those anger issues, those stress issues, and that, It's like a vicious cycle.
You're right, JT. It is a lot like anger issues. But you know what I love the most about when the insurance runs out? All of us, because I've had this happen to me. Mm-hmm. When the insurance runs out, then they want to say, "Oh, you're cured." Really?
Or they want to send you, or you get the new insurance, they want to send you to someone else. When you've built a rapport with somebody, and then you have to start all over again, and that causes more anxiety and depression anyway. And they don't realize, nobody cares. It really is to the point where nobody cares. It's all a moneymaker.
They do. They make you jump through hoops.
It's all a big money-making thing for the pharmaceutical companies, for the insurance companies, for everybody else, and that's why. And then the media doesn't help because they're airing all this crap that raises people's anxiety and brings us more into a depression. So you figure just living in society is not helping, and then it doesn't help with everything in your immediate family and your life.
Right.
So all of this combined is why our generation and the whole world right now basically is so fucked up in the head, and it's sad to say that, but we really are.
And you know what is really upsets me is that in this day and age when people should be enlightened to this, still treat it like it's like you're a horrible person.
Honey, it's our government, and it's a moneymaker, and the information out there is not accurate.
Right, it's society. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If you're depressed or or if you depression causes people to have suicidal thoughts. That's a fact, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But they say if you have suicidal thoughts or attempt it, you're looking. What do people say? You're looking for attention.
Oh yeah.
But you do. I mean, we're all brainwashed. I mean, everybody is so brainwashed in a certain way where if you're not going through the actual depression or anxiety, everybody else is under the impression that, yes, these are attention seekers. No, it can't be that bad in your life. You can't be going through that much.
Right. It's all in your head. I love that.
Oh, my God.
All in your head. Of course it's in my head.
If you just act happy, you'll be happy. And fake it till you make it. I'm like, how many times do you need to hear this shit? Really? Yeah. If it worked, people would not be taking these medications. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to not get my son on anything. I am doing my damnedest. I don't want him on fucking anxiety medication. He'll be on the rest of his life.
Right.
That's why I fight so hard with sitting with him, talking with him, going to see a therapist.
Right. And that's exactly what they say, to even be diagnosed with depression and things like that, your depressed mood has to last longer than 2 weeks. Now, I kind of understand that, but it shouldn't happen. You know what I mean?
By that time, if someone's that depressed, they could be dead. I'm just saying, if it's that severe. But I can see where they're saying that. I mean, if somebody just goes in and says, well, I'm just depressed, it could just be they're sad for a couple weeks. I understand that. But there needs to be a better diagnostic system for, the symptoms. And if the symptoms are there, treat it.
Right. I mean,
do something.
And I hate when I have to go and they ask me all those symptom questions because it's like, yes.
Or that paperwork you fill out.
Yep.
Do you have these thoughts? Do you feel this way?
Right.
How many times do you feel this way? I just did that recently. I was like, dear Lord in heaven, really?
I hate going to the therapist because they always ask you, they would ask you, well, how do you feel about that?
See, I lucked out with a therapist. Thank God. My therapist acts more like a friend. And she listens. And she will give you just friendly... I mean, you'll just sit there and have a normal conversation, and you'll come out of it with really good tools. And they do work in the outside. I mean, I've used many of them, and they do work. Especially concerning my ex. When she helped me diagnose kind of what he had and helped me learn how to deal with him.
Though, when they ask, you're going to them,
yeah.
And they want to say, well, how do you feel about that?
Yeah. See, mine doesn't do that. Otherwise, I don't think I'd be going to her anymore. Right. If she were to say that to me, how do you think I feel? I'm here. You tell me. Give me some advice.
Just give me the answer here.
How do I feel? You know how I feel. I'm sad and depressed, and it's
why do you feel like I'm like?
You should know. I just told you. I told you why. I told you my story.
You're supposed to know, chump.
Yeah. Or I love from
want to spend how many dollars in school to learn all this shit. Come on, you get me an answer, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is very true.
And it kills me. It just says here, that the antidepressant medication may take several months to work.
Oh,
That's wonderful if you're not in a crisis. You know what I mean?
But then also within those months, you start getting the. Because they tried to put me on an antidepressant, and it said it would take a month or two to kick in.
Right.
And I started getting these crazy things. I was seeing people and feeling people brushing against me, and I mean, I thought I was going crazy. And then finally my brother sat me down and he goes, what are you on? And I told him she had given me my doctor had given me something to help me sleep, and then an anti-anxiety medication. And he goes, you started them both at the same time? And I said, yes. And he goes, why would they do that? They usually start one at a time to make sure there's no effects between the two. And it turned into this downward spiral where I couldn't get out of bed. I was afraid to get out of bed because I was seeing people and talking to, and I saw things. I mean, I saw things that were not there. And I would go to people in my family and say, please help me. This person's outside and I can't talk to them. And they're like, nobody's out there. And they have me put me back to bed.
Right. I mean, this is what I really want to talk about. Because a lot of people think, oh, it's all in your head, and they don't understand that these mental issues do affect your physical health too.
Oh, yes.
I mean, they just think of that. They just think it's just emotional.
Pains in your chest.
Yeah, it says it can lead to.
Had a few times. She did.
Right.
A couple times, she get her so worried or worked up that she would pass out.
Oh yeah.
Headaches.
Oh, migraines are a big thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know when I get really, really low that it's almost like my joints. It's like and with me having lupus, it complicates it. It really does. Panic attacks and anxiety attacks. I mean, they're very real. You know
my
that?
Therapist said panic attacks. Yeah, panic attacks can actually, they're very detrimental to your health. You can, what is it? High blood pressure, strokes, heart attacks. Have all been ascribed to having prolonged panic attacks over many, many years.
I mean, not to mention what it does, like ulcers. I
have those.
Trouble with school or work. Family and relationship problems. social isolation, which is a really big danger for people. I know I have to look out for it because I tend to like withdraw from everything if I'm like that, and I know that's not a good thing to do.
I was just actually talking about that during the depressive which I'm going through a depressive episode right now. It's been about a week, and I confine myself. I mean, I took 3 days off from work. I confine myself to my room. I don't talk to anybody, which is one of the reasons I haven't reached out to you, Kitty, by the way.
Well,
but
no,
it's just a defense mechanism.
You know, I mean, as long as we're sharing, you know. That's the other reason why I haven't been on a lot of social media, was because my daughter calls me up and told me that she did attempt to kill herself. And the one thing she did say to me was she just couldn't take it anymore. And that it wasn't, you know, she just didn't think it was fair that she has this depression because of me.
Oh, Kitty.
It is genetic, you know. And it does bring on a lot of guilt. I'm sure you know that.
Oh, yes.
Right. I mean, you know, I didn't realize that, you know, I knew that with the, you know, with the depression and that, with, you know, you know, you can overeat, or you could, like,
starve yourself.
Right. Or, you know, I get sometimes where it just doesn't sit right, and I feel like I have to, you know, bring it back up.
Yeah.
I knew that, you know, there is a risk of heart disease, but I didn't realize that depression could cause diabetes. I didn't type 2 diabetes.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I did not know that. Did you know that, Dad?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense, though.
I mean, well...
Is that the eating aspect? Is that...
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, put one step, you know, it's like a cause once removed. If you say that, yeah, you can gain weight and have eating problems from depression, then the eating problems could lead to the diabetes. So, yeah, it's like the cause once removed.
It's like a cause and effect type of thing.
Where, you know, chocolate, you know, chip ice cream, you know, mint chocolate chip ice cream cures
Yum.
of blues, you know. I can see where that yeah.
I starved myself. I've gone from 140 down to 115 within about a month and a half.
Yep,
going through a really bad depression.
I just don't feel like eating. Like I said, food, there are times where food doesn't taste good to me. It doesn't have any taste. It's just bland. And it could
I just don't have the motivation. It's like I get to the point where I'm just not motivated to eat. I'm not motivated to get out of bed. I'm not motivated to live. I mean, it's just that's simple.
Oh, and then they want to talk about the thing that's really embarrassing, though, to me.
And just to tag on to what she said, that really fucks up your job too. You know,
it does. It really does.
I've lost a lot of jobs because of that.
I mean, because they don't understand. I mean, you can't call your boss and say, I'm going through a depression right now. I'm not going to be at work for a few days. I mean, you have to,
they want production to keep going. They don't give a fuck.
They don't. They're thinking, yeah, right. You just don't want to come into work. Right. You're depressed.
Yeah,
what the fuck? You can come into work if you're depressed. Not everybody's happy all the time. I've heard it from all of them.
I know. Or
everybody has this.
You know, they don't understand if you, they don't understand why, if you're working, you know, you might like just break out in tears. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had that happen, and that's embarrassing.
I've luckily made it to the restroom before. I made it to the restroom.
Sometimes you just like can't help it.
Yeah.
Or you get really anxious.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
Welcome back. Are you willing to share anything now?
Everything okay there, dude?
Yeah, I went on Ken's show and had to, end all that drama.
You were being impersonated.
Somebody was going on there pretending to be me.
Thanks, guys, though, I really appreciate that.
I know. I'm sorry, Kitty. I know this.
Yeah, I'm sorry about Eric coming in here, barging in here and telling. I didn't mean.
I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just talking about the guys that are doing that.
That's all right. I don't care. I just had to go on there and say that wasn't me.
Oh, the impersonating?
Uh-huh.
No, that's...
Yeah, they're pretending to be me
now. Someone tried to do that. I was online the night before. No, it was last night. I was on IRC, Kitty, and I was talking about Storo in one of the rooms. Jamie. And somebody came in and started impersonating him and wanting me to go to a different site. And me being so naive and new to this whole thing, I was like, well, I would have known if it was him within a few seconds. Obviously, I would have realized. But he didn't give me the chance to really talk to him. It was kind of like messages. Are you here? Are you here? Come here and see me. And I'm thinking, this is totally not like him. But a part of you is thinking...
Did your troll blocker pick it up? Because that's how I know.
Well, you know what? They hit my troll thing twice, saying because I had I was wearing a collar, and I haven't worn it before, and so I got hit twice with who is S, and so I stupidly responded.
See, because I've had that happen with Daddy, and that's how I know it's not him, because he's on my approved list. So if it's a message, then it's a fake.
Right, and when we were on our poke at that time, I was an op. I mean, if you come in impersonating me, you're not getting an ops. It doesn't work that way. So all she had to do is look at the list. It's like, because I very rarely
surprised. No, I was just so surprised that came up right now because that just happened to me last night, which was just such a coincidence. I was like, oh, yeah, that just happened to me, the impersonation. And obviously Bailey just had it happen to him.
Yeah, I'm going to have to hear their show later on and see how that person sounded. I don't know. I got it here.
By the way, this also happens on Facebook. You get a friend request by the same person you have friends with. And then next thing you know, they're like, hey, did you hear about the new grant from the government? Contact this person, and then all of a sudden they message you about, tell me, you can, hey, you can get a title to a so-and-so $1,000 worth of a grant money. Don't tell nobody this, but you got to send them money to get it because of the Postal Service stipulations and all that crock of shit. And so
people do fall for that.
Yes, exactly.
Send money.
Send money to pay for my fees here in Nigeria. Just can you send me some money? Send up for my webcam site. Send me. Can you send me this? Send me a Walmart gift card. I'm like, fuck all of you motherfucking cocksucking faggot bitches, because I'm fed up to hear. Lacey, I'm still getting friend requests by these bitches telling me, the lady from bitches like, I'm gonna be one profile pic, always a mere selfie, and they're like, it's like, and they have this website said www.fuckme.com. I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm fed up with it. I did how many videos on my channel about that cock-ass shit? Ugh.
I don't friend anybody I don't know, but I do know of the double thing that's going around where people, there's been the warnings that have been sent out. Don't accept the friend requests from somebody you're already friends with.
Yes,
because that is somebody impersonating, and it's somebody who's going to. I heard that they can hack your account. I've heard that there's things that they can do. But I've also heard of these companies asking for the I've heard of people impersonating the fucking IRS, saying, "Send me these gift cards to pay off your balance," and people are doing it with gift cards.
Shit,
gift cards.
Really? The IRS is going to take gift cards.
No. $35,000 in gift cards. You need to go buy $500 worth of these ones and call me and give me the number on the back. I mean,
yeah, I know.
Come on.
Fine.
It's just really sad that there's people who, I mean, there are people who do believe this and do it, though. So you hear it all the time. I mean, especially the elderly people. If they feel like, oh my gosh, I owe this much money, they're going to go out and buy these gift cards for, I don't know, $500 a piece until they reach whatever they owe.
They probably never been ripped off before, so they don't really understand all that stuff. Remember that senile thing that was discussed earlier? They figure, just don't know anything. Don't just turn around. Don't see now. Don't ball for it. Yup.
Also, you get that call from the IRS and you're thinking, shit, I'm in trouble with the government.
When it's really not.
No, exactly. But that's their first thought.
So many elderly women and men have been conned out of money with phone calls and emails and all that. You hear all the stories about that.
Never. I've never been conned out of money.
A lot of elderly people get conned all the time. You hear about it on the news.
Exactly, because they can't tell that. I don't know why, man. I don't know. I wish they would wake up just as well, dude.
Yeah.
But I think we all agree. We're fucking fed up over there. It's to the point to say, fuck North Korea. Let's fucking bomb Nigeria. Most scamming motherfucking country in the world.
Hey, Dr. Earl, it's funny when you make those videos about all these scammers and women that pretend to be women that contact you. All these spam emails that you get all the time.
Yeah, because I'm still getting them.
A couple times. You're still getting them? Oh my god.
Well, because I still get friends. Like I said, I still get these friend requests by these one profile pictures of these chicks. Either on Skype. I haven't got one on Skype in a long while, thank goodness for that. But still, they want me to go to this website here, blah, blah, blah. And they try to tag me along. It's like, come on, give me a break.
Kitty, are you banging your keyboard?
I think we've gotten majorly off track. I'm like,
yeah, we've been on the air for 2 hours and a half already. Can you believe that?
All I'm thinking is, how did we get way over to the IRS and scamming?
Well, I come back and you guys are talking about this. Don't blame me. I didn't do it.
We were not at all until you came back.
Okay, I'll leave again. I'll be back.
No, we want you to stay and discuss the depression and anxiety, but you're not doing it.
Yeah, I know I'm not.
Yeah, but we in the latest we did have to get that. It was best that we get it out because we're all fucking fed up with it.
Yeah.
We all agree.
I agree. I agree that it was fine to go off on that tangent, but we do have to rein it in after a little bit, so I think we should. But yes, no, I agree with Dr. Earl there, because that's definitely... But that could have been on a show mostly up on its own, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you get better? I mean, other than just going to the doctor and getting a bottle of pills that may or not be right for you.
Coping mechanisms is what they call them, and that's what you have to learn to do.
Yep.
My son was advised to keep a journal to explain when he feels like he's going to go into an anxiety attack, if anything's going to trigger it. Things like that. I get into the point where I just like to write. I will never share my writing with anybody, but it's just to get things out.
Okay. So becoming more familiar with your own condition.
Yes.
What triggers it.
You have to learn. You have to learn exactly what's going on.
I'll be right back. My dog is going crazy over here. God.
Like everything else, when they say like sexually, you have to learn your own body first, right? Before you can experience the fullness of life. With everything, you have to learn fully before you can experience anything. And it's the same with It's the same with any mental illness. You have to know all aspects. Kitty will agree.
Kitty?
Kitty?
What?
Come on, Kitty.
Sam just lobbed your softball.
You understand that, right? What I just said?
What the topic is anymore?
We're talking about how do you deal with it, other than just having a doctor hand you a bottle of pills.
You have to learn about your disease, right? You have to learn how to have coping.
I mean, they have 2 more.
Okay, let's hear those, and then I guess we can come back.
Complications from this, and
for all we know, one of those might address it right there.
We just really sorry. It's really important. Okay. And if I start to cry, it's because it's too
hitting close to home.
Well, huh?
It says hitting close to home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's embarrassing to admit sometimes because one of them is self-mutilation.
Right.
Ah, my daughter went through that.
It is. I mean, a lot of depressed people and, bipolar people. I mean, a lot of people with, some kind of mental illness do that because it's the only way to get. For me, it's the only way that I knew that I was still alive, if I could feel that pain. Because you get to a point where you don't even matter anymore. I don't know if you guys have ever felt like that.
Isn't the self-mutilation, isn't that a way to get the pain out? Like you feel so much pain inside that
some people
I mean, is that just one type? Because I've never I want to know the reason.
Today to see if I still feel.
Right.
Oh yes, that's a great song. Actually, I like that.
Yeah.
I've also heard that. Activates certain endorphins and such in the brain that.
But that's different than self-mutilation, though.
No, when you cut yourself, it's supposed to activate. What was it, Sanger? You said there was some kind of endorphin, right?
Yeah, I'm not real familiar. I mean, I'm just going with what I've heard.
Right.
It might have been years ago that the profession might have changed its opinion on the matter. I don't know.
I have heard this though, that it gives them a feeling of euphoria for that moment that they're doing it. That you have complete control over your body, I guess.
Yeah.
Would that make sense, Kitty?
In their mind, it said blood means release.
Does that make sense to you, Kitty? Because I know that I've never been in that exact situation.
Well, a lot of it, for me anyway, and that's all I have to go by, because everybody is different with that. A lot of them do it so they can release the pain. Some of it, they do it because it is the only thing they can control. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times, depression does make you feel like you're out of control. You don't do anything.
No.
And I mean, I don't know if your son, I know your daughter, but I mean, does your son ever get in his anxiety where it just feels like everything's out of control, that he can't control?
Oh, yes.
And frustrating.
Oh yeah, I can tell when it starts to get really bad. He starts to get this tick in his throat, and you can just there's like these warning signs when you know something's coming, that something in his life is troubling him to the point that it's getting to the point where he's going to break and have an anxiety attack.
Right.
How old is he?
He just turned 17.
Is
Okay.
like I get like shakes inside, like you know how
yeah.
shake outside the body. I shake inside. And
Does he drink caffeine or Red Bulls or anything like that?
No, not at all. I mean, once in a while he has soda. Mostly it's water or Kool-Aid. And yes, I do know that that's definitely a contributing factor.
Yeah,
Mostly,
my doctor told me if I drink caffeine, I might as well not even take the anti-anxiety medication.
See, that's why I want to avoid it, which is why we're working on coping things, because mostly it's at night. And this is horrible to me, but he says that the reason he starts to get them is it's so quiet, and and his mind starts going back in the past, and he can relive hearing his father overdosing over and over, the sound that he would make, and that's what does it. And
night is bad because it does give you that time to think about.
Night is the worst.
I just know my daughter my younger daughter at that age, I mean, she was living on rock stars and Red Bull and all that kind of stuff, and Dutch Brothers, you know, so. But she didn't inherit the problem, so she was fine with that. So, I just know at that age, that's the thing.
Yeah, I think he's old enough to realize that he can't. Especially the energy drinks. He knows he can't touch those.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not. You get to a point where you start to understand. Okay, this is going to cause, and it kills me to watch it when he's living like this. But it makes me feel better that he's learning to control it. Okay, I know I can't have these things. I know I can't do this. When I'm going to bed, if I'm having issues, I need to go talk to my mom. I need to sit down and have a conversation. I mean, he's learning in his mind, and that's good with the therapist, but it's also good because he's open with being with the therapist with me in the room. So everything that I talk to him about, the therapist reiterates without her knowing what I've said. So that makes my son and my bond stronger as well. So I think that helps him a lot, and hopefully will help in the future as we move forward.
With this, that there's a lot of secrets.
Yes.
That's what the self-mutilation is. I mean, it's, I know a lot of people hide it.
Mm-hmm.
They play they play games with their mother. If their mother is aware of what they're doing. Okay, I know she checks here, here, and here, so I'll do it here, here. It's this with depression and a lot of mental illness. There's a lot of secrets because it's so. People just make you feel so bad because they make you feel like you're crazy for cutting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And cutting, if you're not real careful, I mean, that is an avenue of infection.
Yeah.
They also say it could be a precursor to death, right?
I mean, not only that, but if you're not careful.
I'm thinking of that one woman. Her name was Frankie. She was on MTV's Real World. She was a cutter, and who sadly cut herself in the bathtub one time. I'm thinking probably she. Of course, it was obviously she had a mental illness because she felt irritated almost all the time, and the rest of the castmates was having issues with her being like that. I guess,
Well, people don't realize. I mean, all right. Since we're all bearing our souls, I know that I'm in trouble when I do have the urge to cut, because I know that's like the absolute last defense I have. I know that I'm in trouble if I even want to do that.
And she tells me about it, and we try and talk her way through it. As far as I know, she has not cut in the 2+ years we've been together.
Mm-hmm.
Thought about it.
I know you've thought about it, and we've talked about it, and you haven't done it. So that's daddy doing the daddy job.
I want, I have that urge. I mean, it's just like a drug.
All right.
Yeah.
And
I can understand that. I'm sorry. I have a question for you though, Kitty, and I don't know if it makes any sense whatsoever, but
Okay.
I've never understood exactly why my daughter went through the cutting phase. And do you think it could possibly be because she grew up and could not discuss what she was seeing in the home with me? And she felt like that was a release. I mean, I just don't understand. No, and she doesn't know that I know. She doesn't know I know she went through it, actually. My other daughter had to let me know.
I mean, it could be a lot of, issues there. She may feel, that one of the reasons they hide it is because, we don't know how people will react when, it feels good.
Well, then there was also the fact that we were moving like every few years, so they had to find new friends, and their lives were out of control. So then we come back to the control thing,
Yeah.
which makes complete sense.
A lot of, it really does. And it's
Okay.
not, But the only thing is about the self mutilation and things like that. Is I knew a girl that for some reason, I don't know why, but she would like to hit walls, or she would slam her hands in doors. You know what I mean? That's all.
So then, do you think that that's why some women get into the BDSM lifestyle? Would you tie some of that back to that?
I do know that when I was participating and seeing a lot, in real life, when I was getting that flogging or that spanking, or, you know what I mean? It
was that a form of relief, like self-mutilation was?
For me, Subspace was like a drug. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Subspace
yeah.
was wonderful. I wasn't feeling so bad.
That's why, when you say that, I understand exactly, because that's when I got really bad on the pain medicine, because it put me into a space where I wasn't feeling what was going on around me.
Because you know how Subspace makes you feel. There's something.
Oh yeah.
It's better than the pills.
Oh yeah. I haven't been on the pills for 2 years. So once I got off those and realized there was Subspace, then.
And in my case, they actually did show me, a picture of my brain when they took, a CAT scan, and it's always been like a joke because. The doctor said, here's a picture of a normal brain and it's lit up, and here's your brain and it's kind of dim. I'm like,
Thank you, doctor.
I wouldn't say it, but it's true.
Poor dim kitty. That's terrible for a doctor to say. I would be very upset.
I know. You could have prefaced that
dim.
with more explanation.
But it's true, your endorphins and things like that, they do light up
Endorphins
the
and
brain.
serotonin. Yes.
That's why
Nice.
all the serotonin drugs, and some of them didn't work. I mean, I had to take Seroquel to sleep because the brain, when I wanted to sleep, then the brain wanted to like race and things like that. That's the other thing that depression does, is it does make it hard to concentrate sometimes. I actually I do, especially now when I'm older, I really have to fight to pay attention.
Yeah.
And not lose my thought. Which is why I get so mad when I get things get way off of track because it's that much harder for me to bring it in, to think about what I was saying.
Well, see, that's a trigger to your anxieties then too, and your depression. So when we all start talking on each other and get off topic, we trigger you right away. And we don't realize we should by now realize we're doing it because you have said it.
It's
but
not, and I'm not being
No.
I know how hard it is for me to find that where I was because I'm like a squirrel. I have squirrel syndrome. My shiny object.
It makes a
She
lot
knows
of sense.
how to find the nuts. Yeah, we know.
Guys.
You could be talking and somebody will say something to me, and it's like, oh, I'll pay attention to that. And
what were you saying, Earl?
Well, I'm just I gotta bring this up, and this is one of the reasons why, and of course involves Skinny Puppy. This is I'm reading a book called.
Here we go.
It's a book called, and it's a very subject since we're talking about self-mutilation. This is it's a book called "Go Ask Ogre" by a lady named Jolene Siana, I guess Siana. And basically, it's into the world of a misfit cutter. She lived with an abusive mother in the Rust Belt. It was a tailspin of suicidal depression, self-injuries, and it leads her up to the right to the lead singer of Skinny Puppy, Nivek Ogre. Soon she receives a flood of elaborate illustrated letters and journals filled with the ogre does, of her intimate thoughts and everything, all these illustrations, artworks that she writes, from her most painful secrets, hilarious observations, and lucid realizations about her life and around her. At one concert, Ogre and Jolene finally meet. He confides to Jolene that he saved all those letters and drawings and stuff. And 9 years later, after that, she receives a box from Ogre of all the letters, he sent it back to her. And when she started looking at all those documents, and she realizes all these letters and illustrations and stuff, artwork that she sent to him saved her life. And it includes all the artwork, infra, all that stuff, and it's included with a very powerful story of a troubled teen. She made it through the worst years of her life, and basically, and the critics are saying is, critical praise has been going out to this book. So basically, the front man of Skinny Puppy helped writing to him, saved her life. Right. It's pretty interesting here. So, I guess another way to probably avoid self-mutilation is probably writing to someone, like let's say a singer of a rock band or a television actor or something like that. They can relate to that. Like say, like the 13 Reasons Why cast, somebody who's going through suicidal thoughts can write to any of the cast members because they go through the same thing. They're all going through the same problems. Why to help, and maybe that actors can help them illustrate, what's going on. They probably receive letters about that, knowing the topic of that program. So basically, maybe writing to can also help as well. Would you agree?
Really important to do the journals and I do stories or poetry, or art. It's artwork, anything to get your feelings out, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, because unfortunately, the last thing that they say here is attempted suicide or suicide. That's the last complication, and trust me, if it doesn't upset people, they do have some things about suicide prevention here. Of course, if you think you or somebody else is going to harm themselves or harm somebody else, you know, you call 911. You stay with that person until the help, you know, arrives, and you remove everything that can cause any harm. And this is a big one, but a lot of people don't. If somebody tells you that they're going to kill themselves, I know it's hard, but listen to them.
Uh-huh.
Don't judge, don't argue with them, don't threaten them, and don't yell at them.
Yeah.
My son is dealing with someone. One of his friends is dealing with this right now.
Right.
He has a friend discussing killing himself, talking about it. And my son comes in to talk to me one night, and he's showing me the texts back and forth. And my son reaching out and just saying, hey, I just want you to know this is some of my past experience, and sharing a bunch of his own stuff and saying, I understand and I want to be here for you, and if you need anything, let me know. And his friend responded back, thank you for sharing. I think I will try and give life one more time, one more try. And it was just such a but my son sat there and asked me, did I do the right thing? Did I make it worse? Yeah. And no, I told him, and just as long as you're there,
like,
just be there.
How many times you hear people say, oh, somebody can, you know, says they're going to kill themselves, or if they try to commit suicide, they're looking for attention. That's not always the case. A lot of times,
not really.
They're telling you. You know, if they're
crying out for help.
It's a cry, yeah, it's a cry for help.
They say.
Because I'm telling you, the ones that you don't, you know, the ones that you worry about are the ones that don't say anything about it.
Oh yes.
They, you know, they were the ones that you hear about. You know, they leave a suicide note after the fact.
That was one of my best friend's sisters. She's my cousin through marriage, but yeah, she did it without any saying a thing beforehand, and she left the notes for the family.
That's what happened.
Very true.
You know, it's that's probably why I've been on edge too. I know the anniversary is coming up when we had that big storm last year that hit North Carolina and things like that. My uncle had been ill, sick, not doing so well, and he died. And she just couldn't face it. And she called her next door neighbor, told him, you know, check on me this certain time. And she shot herself. She didn't even, you know, she couldn't make it without my uncle. And she didn't think that this is a permanent solution, you know, to a temporary problem. And that's the only thing I was going to say, you know? Huh?
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing. Permanent solution for a problem that's temporarily.
Yeah, I've never thought about cutting myself, but I got somebody in my family that did it for a long time. My niece.
Yeah. Nancy, she did this thing. I remember seeing the marks on her wrist.
Yeah, I never thought about doing that though, but you know, I can imagine how it can help somebody that, you know, their way of coping with it, you know.
I mean, it.
For Nancy, like I said, she kept saying blood means release.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I tried to debate her on that. I say, yeah, but you know, how much of release do you want? Suppose you hit that one vein and it'll be a release forever, you know. And I kind of knows there are many times I didn't want her to. You know, the dude, I know she stopped, but yet, however, you know, there were times where she thought about things, you know, she thought about that stuff. She told me a lot of disturbing, angry thoughts, you know, and all the boy, you know. I remember one time she was getting freaked out because she said there were rats in the air vent when there really wasn't.
Right, she could be having a
hallucination. Yeah.
Break.
Yeah. You know,
hey, Bailey.
Yeah.
Bailey.
What? I'm here.
Really?
Just
Will
quiet.
you do me?
What?
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm quiet tonight, everybody. Just, you know.
It's fine. I understand. Trust me. Do you have a graphic for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline?
No, but I can find that. Hold on.
Okay, because I do have the number, and I didn't, but you know, I was going to put it down. I might put it down.
Yeah, I'll put it on. Let me find it.
Because I know people see that.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to commend all you guys for opening up. I don't know what happened to me tonight. I don't know.
Well, I know it's not popular to say, but
I know. I mean,
medicine does work. Okay, I haven't put my fist through a wall in like 15 years, so yeah, I'm just saying that it does help.
I know, but I
whether
don't.
it help you or not, that's up to you and your doctor.
Right. I just don't want to lose my personality. You know, I'm desperate. You know that. And that's nothing against you. I don't want.
It's up to you and your doctor how you treat your issues.
I haven't seen a doctor in a long time.
I'm scared to death of becoming a zombie. I mean, you know, I'd rather.
Well, talk to your doctor.
Kitty, do you miss going outside?
Sometimes. I mean, I miss when, you know, the first snowfall, because I love how, you know, I love how it changes everything. It makes everything so pretty. And you ever notice if you go out like at night, especially when it's snowing, how quiet it is?
Well, we don't get snow over here, but
yeah, it's really quiet.
They're here as well.
Yeah, see, it really is. It's very quiet.
What do you think would happen if you did go outside? How would you react, do you think?
I know how I react. I get sick to my stomach. I get palpitations. I actually shake. And I know it's not, I don't want to say feasible. I know it's not rational. But to me, that fear is very real.
Oh, I can understand. I know.
Fears and phobias.
That's good, Bailey. That looks good.
I'm trying to find one that's less blurry.
That one looks perfectly readable to me.
Does it?
Yeah. National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-TALK, Suicide Prevention Lifeline.org.
JT.
What's up, John Redcorn?
Right, I mean.
John Redcorn.
Oh shit! Hold on, I deleted the wrong one.
He willing to come on and talk about this?
I know John. I know he does. He has a lot of the same things we do.
Because you know we.
It's black.
That, you know,
you understand. Come on.
Yeah,
Does
I mean.
That make you Shackleford?
I mean, I know a lot of what they on this type of show will leave me open to a lot of criticism from people.
To hell with anybody thinks, you know, or say.
Through that, it needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
It needs to be addressed, and people need to know this shit, you know?
Yeah.
You're not. No.
No more hiding your head in the sand. No more sweeping it under the damn rug. That shit's been gone too damn long. It's time to get this out in the open because it's there. It is out there. You know.
Right.
Right. I mean.
And if you do it, then maybe if it is a hereditary thing, maybe it'll make your children or your parents or siblings stop and think, well, I'm feeling the same thing, Maybe it's not just me. Maybe I'm, make them go and look into getting help.
Right. But
do what's best for you and your family,
Be prepared, though. If you do have it in your family, be prepared for that guilt, because it does come.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when the doctor first asked me how long I was this way, and the answer, and it's bad when I think about it now, the answer I gave him is, this is the only feeling I've ever known. I've never felt happy. And I always thought it was, my parents would say, oh, you're just, you're just looking for attention. That's why you're acting this way. I mean, they had me convinced that it was my fault that this was happening. And I don't ever want anybody to go through that like that, because it's not your fault.
Mm-mm.
And if I help, I know Daddy always accuses me of wanting to change the world, but if I can change my little corner of the world, just one person, then I know that, I've done good.
So what else you got on that itinerary for the show, Kitty?
Well, I know that Labor Day is coming.
It's here for some of us.
Yes.
It's right now. It's here right now. It's after 1 over here.
Yeah, you guys remember? I know that you guys all grew up around the same time I did, when Labor Day signaled, like we were talking earlier. Labor Day always signaled to me first day of school. You guys want to share about first day? Do you guys remember some of your first day of school?
Oh God.
Is this every year? Or
I always
what?
hated going back after Labor Day. No. 5 more minutes, Mom.
I know.
And the 5 minutes were turning like 5 days. 5 days. One more day, please.
I feel sad now because I know he stopped doing them long ago, but for me, Labor Day meant Jerry Lewis Telethon.
Oh yeah.
I would stay up, and watch it all.
Mm-hmm.
And I miss those things now. I miss,
Did they stop doing? By the way, did they stop doing the telethons?
Yeah, I think he stopped doing them a while ago.
Wow.
I can't remember when, but I think it was his health. But I do.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, there were a couple of times where he wasn't even on a few times. Everybody else had to take over for him.
And yes, there were a couple of years that I did do the, money for the Jerry kids. I would walk around my neighborhood collecting money for that.
Yeah.
And the carnival, oh my God, when they used to have the carnival for that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember things like, they don't have the cookouts anymore that they used to.
No, they don't.
It was Memorial Day and July 4th and Labor Day were the big cookout things. Because, Memorial Day was the first day of summer, and then you had July, which was right in the middle, and Labor Day was always like, saying goodbye to summer, It was like the last. I don't know if you guys have those type of memories like that. Like,
we never really did too much for Labor Day for my family.
JT says he did. Like, I always remember, like, it was like maybe, the weekend of Labor Day, before Labor Day started. Or, like, the 2 weeks before or so. It started, like, the last weekend of August or so. I mean, or even before that, where everybody went back to school shopping. I know you guys have memories of that. Of back to school shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Where you bought, you always got a brand new pair of shoes. Didn't you guys?
Yeah, I remember. Yep.
Yeah, and
Or
always
new
had
clothes, new this, new that.
Yep, always new underwear, new socks, right?
Yep.
And
you wore underwear?
Yes, I actually did once upon a time. Hey, or it was it was always kind of cool when your mom fixed your lunch, that first day, and you got, the first snack pack or something, you know what I mean, of the year. And it was always the same thing every year in school. They always made you write what you did during what I did for summer. Remember those?
Yep. What did I do this summer? Well, I banged my girlfriend in my room last night. I banged my girlfriend's friend in their room last night as well. I got so stoned out of my freaking mind. I also drove around the neighborhood, running over the either the mailboxes or the trash cans. I also tried to steal change from a pinball machine. I also did this. Also saw Iron Maiden show at a concert. Yeah.
Giddy puppy.
That bullshit.
Oh my god! How many times? How many of you guys stick filling out this beginning of the year? They always made you fill out these parental forms. Who to call, who to contact, in case you had didn't say, or it was always, get to know you. Didn't matter. You could have gone to school with these kids how many years, and you still have to get to know the kids, Except for the 1 year I was the new kid.
Oh, God.
Right. I mean, or
yes, one everything about you. Well, what's your name? What's your number? What's your address? Who do we contact? If it is person we don't contact, who do we contact before that? If we don't contact that person, who would we contact there? We need every number.
Yeah.
Look, come on. And the number. It's the same number, bro.
Or, oh my God, how many of you had stood in line for your locker combination?
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't just the hall locker, it was the gym locker, too.
Oh, God.
What about the lunches?
Oh, my God. And how many times have you did that combination and it wouldn't open? And you're like, oh, my God, it's not opening.
Teacher, my locker is not open. Let's try this combination. This locker ain't working. Try this combination. They ain't working shit either. Well, let's try this. Well, what can I do to get my locker open? Fuck it, give me a shotgun.
The ones that
open now. Yeah, but now I can't lock it up no more. You blew the lock away, motherfucker.
It was always the ones that you had to get exactly right on the number.
Yeah.
You couldn't. You had to like. Yeah, you really
same thing here, dude. Same thing here.
Yeah, you have to go all the. You have to go past that number to get to the next number, and it's like, oh. Or oh my god, where you had to wait in line. I hate it in gym when they had to do the waiting and when you had to do the physical fitness test. I hated that. Where you had to what was it? Jog around the track like 4 times. It's always a mile or it equals a mile or so. And they always make the tracks. I swear to God, the tracks got longer each year.
No, your boobs got bigger each year, so the bouncy got to you more each year.
God.
What?
How about this one? The lunch period. You get all this food and
oh my God! You had to.
It looks like slop. You have to eat all this damn slop, and lunch ladies make it look like slop as well.
Oh God, eating lunch, food and lunch. That's cool. That was bad.
I'm bringing my own lunch, dude.
Oh yeah.
But then you wait. You had your tray, and you're looking around at the lunchroom, and you're going, "Where am I going to sit?" It's like every table's taken. And you're like, "Where am I going to sit?"
You actually ate lunch in the lunchroom?
Yeah. Why?
Okay.
You must have had a guardian angel with you at that time.
Why? I've never had to eat. The only time I can remember eating in the room is in kindergarten. We've always had a lunchroom.
Oh, there were picnic tables over underneath some trees,
Oh yeah, I used to like the picnic.
And we'd go over there and play D&D during lunch.
You and your D&D.
I know. Nerd.
What? That's what we did.
Well, see, of course I would, because you forget. When I was in 10th grade.
So what do you think, Kitty? We've been on 3 hours. What do you think? 3 hours and 15 minutes. What do you think?
Oh my God, get a lock, yes. I want to hear your guys' experience, man.
Well, I don't know. Is Earl got to work tomorrow?
I don't know. Maybe.
We can keep. Do you work tomorrow, Dr. O, or are you off?
Yes, I do. I work tomorrow. I actually work today. Actually, to say. Yep.
So you want to wrap it up?
Should we wrap? Yeah, because I try to keep the show at least 2 hours and a half, 3 hours. Otherwise, nobody will want to watch a show that's 4 hours long. Look at Joe. His shows go over 4 or 5 hours. I don't think too many people.
Yeah, they did. I was listening to one of them today at work.
That's a long time for somebody to watch.
Yep.
Well, what do you think, Kitty? It's your call.
No, I'm saying I do think we have to revisit this.
I think and hopefully next time I'll be able to talk about it more.
Because
I don't remember my first days of school, so
I hated school, so I wasn't there half the time. So
other than one first day of school, and that was in October, so it doesn't really count.
You didn't have first days of school?
Well, yeah, we had.
I don't remember them that much.
We had them, but I try to forget it because it was horrible.
Well,
and like I said, the one that I do remember, it was in October, not Labor Day.
You know why I like it? Because
why?
I used to have everything's new.
Well, I was antisocial a lot, so I didn't have too many friends in the beginning. So I kept to myself. Which,
oh my God, you were
same thing, same here. Yeah. I didn't do weed. I didn't smoke dope. I didn't do that stuff. So basically, I was pushed away for that. I just kept
same here. I didn't do it. Yep.
And another thing we got to address is peer pressure.
Well,
that could be a good subject.
Oh yeah, John, that's a good movie, Breakfast Club. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. peer pressure is just that's another aspect of the bullying.
Yep.
You could say.
Yeah, you got that right.
See, you guys wouldn't have liked me in high school because I was like in 10th grade. I was a cheerleader.
Oh God, your titties bouncing up and down to the your pom poms bouncing up and down. Hell yeah! And then
I can tell you how to play D&D.
Oh, you're
I'm not a nerd.
You have to be a nerd.
I was yes. I made honor roll. Yes, but.
Kid, you gotta find me some of your cheerleader pictures. I want to see them.
Oh, I don't think I have any.
Any upskirt? No. Come on, who didn't like the cheerleaders back in school? They bounce up and down and shit up their skirt.
That's why I quit because.
You don't like showing your underwear?
Bailey, find her on FetLife. You can see more than our gynecologist sees.
Hey, I think I might. Yeah.
No.
Well, I already have a FetLife, so when I looked at Kitty's picture, so.
Well, like I said, you saw everything you wanted to see.
Yeah.
Cheerleaders are like
Maybe one day I'll go on there and.
Snooty. Sometimes they are.
Yeah.
Oh,
When you were in 10th grade.
That's when I quit. Was when I was in 10th grade because they were just because I changed schools. And I ended up going and graduating from the school that my father graduated from. Yeah.
I was 3,000 miles from the schools my parents graduated from.
Yeah, how great do you think that was when he had, some of the same teachers were still there?
I think we lost Sam. What happened to Sam?
Oh,
I was going to say, yeah.
Oh, Jamie Collar? Okay.
Yeah, she forgot it was Jamie time.
Oh, yeah, Jamie time.
She says, she forgot this is when Jamie calls, but she goes, I was so wrapped up in, the thing.
I think we had a good show. I want to apologize for being quiet. I know I was more quiet than usual. Just this topic kind of hit me hard, and I didn't know what to say.
That's fine.
But I commend all you guys, Dr. Earl, Bill, Sam, especially you two, Kitty. About hopefully next time I can. I don't know. It's just I wasn't expecting to be this quiet.
Well, did it help you any?
It did.
Because the thing is, what I want to tell people is that they're not alone.
I know.
Right.
Hold on, let me put that hotline.
All right. So.
Hide it,
So do we have the exit song queued up?
You want to? Should we do it, Kitty?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. First, Dr. O, you want to plug your channel?
Yeah. So once again, plug my YouTube channel, Dr. Earl W. Brown. And once again, thank you to the people who commented on the Joel Osteen video, except for the idiots that I mentioned, saying
fuck the haters.
Those comments, by the way, got deleted. By the way,
they did? There you go.
Yep, I deleted them. I'm not a Satanist. I'm not a drug addict. Okay, and I don't look like Weird Al Yankovic. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent.
Yeah. Oh, Steve. No, more like Steven Tyler.
I don't know where I get Ted Nugent from.
I don't know. Maybe because of the cowboy hat I wear.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I think it's because of the cowboy hat. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or
you
Ted
have a hot
Nugent
little daughter.
hair.
Could be because of the hair.
Yep.
Hey, I want to thank John Redcorn for being in the room, the chat the whole night.
Yep.
Bill laughs when I say that.
I don't think Kitty knows who that is.
You never saw King of the Hill?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That would make me a Rusty Shackle Bailey. And that would make Bill, you're Bill.
Oh my God, Bill.
As long as I'm not Boomhauer. I couldn't talk like that.
Oh my God.
No, Dr. Rose Boomhauer.
No, Mark damn Boomhauer. I'm like, what the hell?
And Kitty, you're Peggy.
I am not Peggy.
And Sam is Luann.
Oh God. No. Are you calling her stupid?
No, I thought Luann was hot.
No, Leanne is stupid. Though.
Okay, we'll make you Bobby. How's that, Kitty?
No.
You're Bobby.
Thanks.
So we had a good show. Hopefully we help people. Well, I didn't say much of anything, but everybody.
Yeah,
I think if you help one person with this one. Anybody who watches this,
someone from the show, I want to be what's his name, the main guy's cousin, who showed up. I think in one episode.
Him? He had all the chicks.
I want to be Cotton.
Dusty Hill.
I want to be Cotton.
Yeah,
you know who Dusty Hill is, right?
Yeah, Dusty Hill's a. Wait a
It's
second.
clear from the ZZ Top.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
And I got the beard for it.
Oh, do you?
Oh yeah.
Anyhow, I want to thank Sam for opening up like she did. I commend her dearly. You too, Kitty, and Dr. O and Bill.
A lot more that we didn't even get to cover. Like,
well, you can always do another episode.
I know that's what I'm saying. You know, because
this topic right here is endless. It's endless. You know.
No, I'm saying a lot of veterans and things.
Oh God, yeah. How
they don't get veterans come in with PTSD.
How they don't get taken care of by our government, and they end up sad. Anyway, Kitty, you got any final words? Final thoughts?
You know, just please, don't think that you're the only one suffering like this.
You're not alone.
Right. Just get help. Don't be afraid to get help. I know
if we can help one person with this, then.
Right. And like I said, there's tons of.
And I think we should end this show without doing the ending. We should just, end it. Now I'm talking like you. We should just end this. Seriously, not with our crazy intro. Our outro, what do you think? Should we do it? Should we do it?
I mean, I guess the best thing you can do is do research on things. Do it after you get diagnosed.
Oh, like I said, Kitty, you did good for doing this episode. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dale. I mean,
there
Dale.
Are people
I gotta call you Dale.
Who want to help you?
Yeah.
There really are. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. And if you can't talk to your family about it or friends, maybe somebody you don't know, like from the suicide hotline, can help you.
Right.
Sometimes talking to a stranger might be more easier for you than talking to your family or friends.
They have chat rooms all over for that.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we should call it a night. I think.
Yeah. Right.
Let's do the outro. Ready, Kitty?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. See if I can liven myself up to do this. ERO. What the hell was that? ERO. You do it, Dr. O. I can't do it right now.
Okay, here's how it's done. EROTICKITTY. See ya fuckers later.
Good night, everybody. See you in 2 and 2.
All right.
Bye, folks.
Good night.
On